All right. Yeah. So mic is on. Everything's live. Okay. Yeah, we're live. Hey, what's going on, everybody? On this late night edition, coming to you live from the nation's capital of D.C., or the outskirts, in my case, the suburban area. This is your brother African Emporium tuning in with the family live to give a latest update on the Georgia Senate runoff. Get excited for that, right? I know one thing for sure: us who are definitely market orientated people are watching this thing very closely because we do know the implications for a market that has been very heavily favored Republican for quite some time since Trump took office, has done nothing but offered in some really, really great gains in terms of the opportunities that have came forth in terms of market awareness and present. Again, from what we know as far as fiscal policies and the typical, Republican, I should say, value in terms of how they go forward. I'm sorry, mute your mic real quick. Mute your mic real quick, brother Hush. We'll get you in here in a second. All right, all right. And so far they came in. So uh, this is going to be an interesting next runoff election. Um, Hold up, I think my brother just came on and got off. I don't know. Brother Hush, come back on the panel if you can. Just make sure you mute your mic. I'm sorry. I don't know if you did it by mistake or you got kicked off. But anyway, as people come in, I got the live going out right now, so people are gonna be popping in. So forgive me, guys. When you do jump on, just make sure you mute your mics. That way I can get through this initial commentation, I should say. Excuse me. All right, so and it's late. I've been doing a lot of training all day, so I'm already half tired. But I said I was gonna come on and do a live, and so I'm just happy to be before my peers here this evening, so we can discuss this thing, so we can get it in, so we can figure out what's going on with this election, right? In this case, of course, this Democratic Senate seat runoff that's I should say, very monumental in terms of the implication in terms of fiscal policy going forward with an all control, Senate, or I should say House of Representatives, Senate, and presidency seat that will be controlled by the Democrats, right? And so we already kind of got some of the pre-existing notions of what typical how Democrats are, known to be in terms of their, loose checkbook kind of reality. We've already got, Joe Biden coming out on record saying pretty much that, if the Democrats are able to pull out this Senate seat race, he's already going to promise, quote unquote, promise $2,000 stimulus checks out the gate. His words, not mine. He said immediately he's going to, again, submit those $2,000 stimulus checks to the American people as a late push to kind of bring in more people to the ballot box to submit their votes for Democratic, again, nominees. In this case, in terms of Raphael Warnock and Ossoff, those two guys who are running for those, very critical Senate seats at this point, to somewhat unseat the Republican power structure that has been somewhat empowered, to be honest, if you really think about this, over the past, let's say the past 8 years. And why do I say that? Because again, we have to go back as far as President Obama's last 4-year term, where Republicans always were able to overtake the Senate. And ever since that point, they were playing gatekeepers to a lot of the political, jargon and the fodder that was coming in around Washington in a way where they kept that kind of, quality control, checks and balances move in play, and not just letting the Democrats just run wild, right? And so even with the fact that, when Trump came into office, and obviously the Republicans still were able to control the biggest, seat in Congress, which is the Senate, it was still, had its moments of, I should say, obstruction from the Democrats, being that they were still somewhat having a seat at the table where they can somewhat slow down some of this Republican, energy in terms of how they go about doing their fiscal policies and implement their so-called legislations in terms of, again, small government, less taxation, which typically falls on the hands or in the pockets of those who are already well-to-do, right? And so with that also being known, this is one of those unusual circumstances where we've got an unusual election cycle as a whole, going back in terms of even with President Trump and Joe Biden's submission, I should say, for the seat of the, for the presidency, right? And now we're in a situation where I should say it's a predicament, right, for those who are typically staunch Republicans, even staunch Democrats, where for what it's worth after what we just dealt with in terms of Trump's, whole tenure, 4 years, that is, right? Seems like a lot, but it's been 4 years where you're going to give potentially, again, this is potentially because we're going to break down this election stuff, a lot of power back into the hands of the Democrats, right? And what that will mean for number one, U.S. stock markets, number two, fiscal policies, number three, democratic legislations, right? The things that obviously they do that people know that they're known to do, all right? And how energized are they this time around to take it a step further, right? And really try to implement, a very loose agenda value based upon the fact that we're still dealing with this coronavirus, right? COVID-19, right? Again, this whole ideal of the polarization that we've been dealing with since the coronavirus has came and hit in terms of the pandemic, and whether you for Trump or not for Trump, or however the case, for Biden, not for Biden, obviously there's a big divide in terms of how the nation has dealt and handled this coronavirus situation, and what entails what it would be like if the Democrats were completely in control. How would they deal with what we're dealing with now, as terms on the at the somewhat worst case scenario of the coronavirus actually are we're in right now, which is the worst of the pandemic thus far. It doesn't seem like, because it's like we've been going through it since forever, but we're at our most deadliest aspect of the virus. We got a new mutated strain out there running rampant, and to the point where they even shut down England, right? They closed down England all over again. South Africa is being ravaged right now in terms of this virus. It started in Europe from someplace, then another one kicked off out of South Africa and flew to Europe, and now that's also bombarding Europe. And one of the strains obviously leaked over into America. Now all of a sudden we're dealing with it over here now, right? Weirdly so, we haven't heard that new strain of virus is in Africa, not Africa, excuse me, Asia, or East India, right? So it bypassed those areas and came straight, from Europe to America, right? So again, a lot of crazy turn of events and things that have happened thus far. We're all trying to make sense of it all. Again, I'm just trying to be just like anybody, a steward of proper due diligence and methodology in terms of being able to uncover the proper information I need to make the type of decision that's going to be good for me and my household, right? In terms of being able to stay safe with or without a vaccine out there at this point, and they still having to kind of wait to get those vaccines move through the system in a way where it'll start being somewhat of a, I guess, a canvas to deal with this virus, right? And that's before you even begin to now have the discussion where they're saying that this new strain of virus, it actually been some redacted statements, redacted studies already coming out of Washington, right? The CDC and the FDA, when they initially came out and put out I guess a press piece to say that all is well, the vaccine from Moderna, right, and Pfizer seems to be doing very well with the this new strain of coronavirus. And then they had to redact that statement and pull it, because now this information coming out in terms of the science that says that they can't necessarily make that call quite yet. That somehow this new strain is, somewhat just, eating this vaccine, eating both of their vaccines. Right. And we kind of pre-discussed these things like way back in February, March, when we were kind of roundtable discussion. What would the implications be? Of course, at some point when they come up with a vaccine, then again after that, what would be the efficacy level, right? How strong of a scenario would it be in the event that even more strains begin to pop up at some point? Because we knew that at some point new strains were going to pop up. What would be the implications of that? When those things begin to happen. And so here we are again, like I said, in somewhat of the darkest days of this coronavirus pandemic situation, in my opinion, of course, all right, based upon what the science and the data is being able to present to us at this point. And we got, a Georgia Senate runoff that may be very monumental to how, again, Americans, whether you get for Trump or not for Trump, for Biden or not for Biden, will receive their information, right? Their public health awareness information, hence that part of government that a lot of people subscribe to, that would think that the government would never obviously do you no wrong, right, or do you harm. Well, we found out very easily during this pandemic, pretty much how this government works, right? The level of inconsistencies, the level of division, the level of irreprehensible values of I guess jargon, and y'all heard it all just like I did, right? It was just like one clown fest to the next, right? And so it left a lot of people, really kind of figuring out, how to deal with this on their own. You had this massive divide in Congress. You had a massive divide in government policies. Again, the PSA values of information that should go forth to kind of blanket everybody as if the virus had a specific person that it cared about it. It didn't. It did not. It didn't care if you was Republican, Democrat, midget, humpback, smurf, left hand, right hand. Don't care. It didn't care about none of that. The virus is looking for a hose, right? And so even with that being known, again, pandemic in our lifetime, things that we're going to obviously, our grandkids, great great grandkids, and great 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 grandkids go read about somewhere in the history book how we dealt with this virus. Is going to be crazy, right? And you would think in this modern age of technology and revolution and science and all this stuff, you would think there would have been a lot better off at this point in the game, but it turns out that apparently we're not, right? Apparently we are not, right? And I'm just saying that from my position and my opinion only. All this, America, the greatest this and the greatest that. Man, look, we saw less fiscally robust countries, less, scientific countries do a heck of a lot better than we did with this virus. And it's not like, again, the virus has a respect of person. It hits anybody, don't care who you are, where you are, what you look like. If it gets in your neighborhood, it's going to do its thing. It's looking, again, so it's looking for a host. So these other nations that were less fortunate were able to deal with this virus with their somewhat cumbersome, clunky technology, science, or whatever. Then what does that say about America? The country that's always running around bragging first and doing the work last, right? Who's always going out saying everybody else is a third world country. But again, it showed that America moved like a third world country during this pandemic. Of course, these are my opinions. Right, I follow the market. Of course, this is no secret for a lot of people who tune in, hanging out with your brother tonight. Thank y'all again for tuning in. Y'all know how I am. I'm very market orientated. I'm very, financially set in my ways in terms of being able to access and utilize these markets as a tool of resources. And I do that by understanding this. Number one, if you ever want to figure out how the world, thinks and moves on certain aspects, follow their money. Right, the first thing that you're going to do is go follow the money. If the money is giving you the opportunity to realize that, hey, this is where you're going to figure out, get all the information that's going to be most pertinent to you to make the best decision for your life. That's what you need to possibly do, right? Because these are the people who are obviously lobbying, who are submitting their campaign dollars and values to these Republicans, these Democrats, or these worldly leaders are all around to now be able to kind of, push their agenda. Or not only that, to make sure that they're first to know what's going on in terms of worldly operations, right? And so that stuff is very important, guys. And I just want to make sure I reiterate that while we, set up to get ready to get into this discussion. I thank you all for tuning in. Everybody's in the back chat. We got a lot of family coming through this evening. I'm really humbled by that. As always, peace, power, profit to everybody. As I always say, Uncle Johnson there. Thank you guys for tuning in. Everybody that's on Facebook, my Facebook family, obviously getting a chance to go live now finally on Facebook. Which that was kind of last domain of mine. I was always kind of hanging out on YouTube. But thank you guys also for tuning in and responding to this live stream as we discuss this Senate runoff, right? And as of now, just to kind of give you guys a heads up, we have 90% of the vote in at this point. We still have a large population of that Atlanta, inner city Atlanta, or suburbia Atlanta to a degree, inside the perimeter and outside the perimeter. From some of my people that's been in Atlanta, lived in Atlanta, y'all understand that the perimeter obviously is 285, right, around the entire city. Then even out people that's outside the perimeter itself, and turns out there in Conyers and Stone Mountain and further out, whatever. Of course, those areas are still considered to be Atlanta, right? Ultimately, at the end of the day, a lot of those votes still have not been casted. Right. And so as of right now, with 90% of the vote in, just based upon the Associated Press, we have David Perdue up right now. Matter of fact, let me share my screen to make this even more visual for those who may not be able to, who might want to see it for themselves, I should say. You'll get firsthand, viewing of this here. So as you can see here, David Perdue is up here around about 51.4%. Right. John Ossoff is up 48. Again, he's at 48.6%. Obviously, with 90% of the vote counted. We have Kelly Loeffler here again. The Senate seat for the Republicans. He's at 50, right? And Raphael Warnock is in at 49. Now, interesting about these results at this point, right? Even though it's showing 90%, just like we did with the president's election, and how Trump obviously premature called the election for himself, as if he didn't understand how the process works, as if other ballots didn't have to come in and get counted for certain aspects and how certain states relinquish their data, when they get it in, count it up, and how they methodology in terms of how they go about doing that. Well, this is what you're dealing with right now in terms of what? Georgia, right? Their inner city areas are going to be the last ones to really get counted. It's metropolitan areas, right? Again, places like Savannah, even though you may not say it's metropolitan, but it's still one of the second biggest rural area in the state of Georgia. Savannah, obviously second that of Atlanta, and then Atlanta, right? Greater city of Atlanta. That was the target of interest with the presidency election, because their numbers were kept coming in a lot later, which obviously in the overtime aspect of a runoff skewed the election towards Joe Biden, which obviously blew Trump's mind, because he could not see that, if in his mind, if the voting coming in, he's up, he's ready to call the election right then and there. Like, it's game over right there, right? I mean, y'all saw it like I did. I'm not making this up, but whether you're a Trump fan or not, y'all know exactly that that's not how this stuff works, right? Let's just keep it 100. Let's not be in our feelings. That's not how this stuff works, right? There's a process in place for a reason, right? Whether some fraud in play or not, you still have to wait till everything gets counted, period, before you prematurely call any election, right? That's like getting into a stock at 9:30 and it's up and saying, okay, we're going to just keep going up for the rest of the day. Like, yeah, what are the odds of that, right? What's the odds of that happening? Yeah, good luck, right, with them calls, right, or that long position at that point, right? That's not how this stuff works. You got to let things materialize themselves and work itself out. So basically what we got here, with 90% of the vote already in, again, there's a heavy population of inner city Atlanta that's yet to be counted. And you guys know as well as I know, by the time those those Atlanta votes come in, this thing is going to skew evenly back towards the Democrats, if not overtaking the Republicans. At this point, they're pretty much, and again, this is their words, not mine. They're pretty much already saying at this point that, again, this is late night, so I'm gonna use these little vernaculars and euphemisms, so don't y'all get y'all feelings and come for me. They're probably saying at this point that the Republicans have already shot their shot, right? They've already, expended their bullets at this point in terms of the mainframe value of the Republican vote that Georgia was looking to get, have turnout for Republicans. Obviously, that lower and mid Georgia, and not even the mid Georgia, because now they're trying to figure. They found out that they have some new voters in the state of Georgia that Georgia had not really been planning on for quite some time, are now starting to go to the polls. They actually got a name for it, guys. They call it the Black Belt, right? The Black Belt, this area within Georgia, stemming from what we say, like close to the Alabama state line in terms of the, Columbus, Georgia, Fort Benning, all those areas, all the way through that diagonal line up towards Augusta, Georgia, back towards Savannah. They actually started to call that area of Georgia now, like a belt area, the Black Belt, where that kind of old school, Georgia voter, y'all know how it is. People in the South, they got the family members down there. They don't be caring about no polls. The only thing they care about is Jesus, some good eating and hanging out, right? So, but now they're finding new voters in around those areas, right? And so they're going to be a major deciding factor in this election now, that you're going to get people who are going to dominate, for that Democratic ticket, whether we Republican, Democrat, whatever you are, right? We know these people are typically going to vote their interests, and that's what Bible Belt mentality. They're going to vote Democrat, right? So that in itself has made this election, this Georgia Senate runoff, even more agonized. Like, everybody's on the edge of their seat right now. It's a nail biter, right? People don't know how to think about, where this thing is going to go. But as of now, of course, just looking at the numbers here again at 91% and whatever, and it seems like it's pretty much a slam dunk. You would think that, right, in terms of the Republicans, right? Again, this is where it's going to get crazy, right? That DeKalb County vote, where they're already saying that it's an 85 to 15 ratio to Democrat to Republican. 85 to 15% in DeKalb County alone. DeKalb County is a massive county area within that inner city perimeter aspect of Atlanta, right? Again, that's what some of those votes that came in late in the presidential runoff with obviously Joe Biden and President Trump, that obviously affected the runoff, or this is to say the extended aspect of the election for the presidency, that turned it favorably towards Joe Biden. That DeKalb County area. Again, some of you guys know about DeKalb County. I lived in Atlanta. Y'all know what it is over there in DeKalb County, right? Right? Again, it's a heavy, obviously African American population in that regard. There's others obviously in there too. There's also some, it's an immigrant class in that area as well. All right. All right. We talking about 5 points. Not 5 point, but what's the area over there? Is that part of Little Mexico to a degree? It's somewhere near that area, on the back side of the mall, the back behind that area, right? Going back towards Boulder Crest and all that stuff like that, whatever. But nonetheless, that's a massive population for an African American voter turnout. That's typically what Democrat. Again, we talking about Southern traditional voting values, right? They typically vote what they consider to be quote unquote. I got to say that their interest, right? So whatever that interest is, that's what they vote. Right. But nonetheless, guys, here we go. We in here. We got the family coming through this evening. Happy to have everybody in the building. Again, we're going to open this panel up so we can get this thing going. I'm pretty, happy to hear what you guys got to say about this. I know the market right now is all over the place. We got the Dow Jones right now and pretty much the S&P 500 rolling over. Could it just be, again, another situation where this is the excuse for the market to what? Sell off, right? The markets are always looking for excuses to make an excuse to what? Leave people out there stuck holding the bag. And as of right now, we have the US 30, which is in the future market here, down to roughly about 105 points, down by 0.35%. US 500 down, which is S&P, obviously 26 points, 0.72%. Right, the Dow, the S&P 500 is really taking on the chin, and even worse, the US Tech, the Nasdaq, the QQQs, right, the XLK is really getting hit on the chin. That's to be recognized. Why is tech selling off more than everybody else right now tonight? There's a reason why, of course, but we're going to discuss that tonight too. And then
production.
That's happening, believe it or not. Right, 1 second, guys. We're going to open this up and get it cracking. Even so, believe it or not, you have the small cap, which is the Russell, right? The Russell 2000 or the Wilshire. For my old school folks that have been trading for quite a while, it's called the Wilshire. It's up 0.66%. 13 points on small caps right now. And there's a reason why that's also up. And beyond, behold, right? Behold, right? In my brother Reggie voice, behold, the S&P 5, the VIX is popping. The VIX is popping. It's up 3%, right? Or 3.5% to be exact right now, which is always solidifying the fact because y'all know the VIX typically only goes up and down about, maybe at most sometimes on hard days about 1%, or go up, be up about maybe 0.5%, 0.7%, but it's up a whopping 3.57% tonight. So somebody is very bearish orientated in terms of Wall Street ahead of the fact that now they're starting to get more, I guess, in their mind, somewhat of a clearer picture that this election is not finna be the type of Republican honeymoon that they thought it would be in terms of how they wanted to have a balanced seat of power in terms of the Senate and the House of Representatives, right? Again, a Republican's worst nightmare is for them to cede power to who? The Democrats in both houses of Congress. And what that does, especially after they just came out of power and having to give up that power after working so hard to get that power back under President Obama, what that does to, number one, to their psyche. Again, Trump being the key figure of it all, of course, we're going to discuss that too. There's a civil war that's happening right now inside the Republican Party. Kind of reminds me what the Tea Party scenario was like back when it was kind of spite Obama. This is that Tea Party 2.0 scenario all over again. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's exactly what I feel like I'm seeing right now. And I'm pretty sure, again, we're going to discuss tonight with everybody. So, again, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Peace, power, and profit to everybody that's, again, on the panel. Everybody that's in the YouTube side of the house. Everybody that's in my Facebook side of the house. Thank y'all for tuning in. Again, we're unbiased. Everybody has their own opinions. They speak for themselves. So we'll allow the family to speak for themselves. I'm not speaking for nobody but myself when I speak tonight. And again, and for the aspect of what my interests lie in terms of this market. So I'm excited to be here with my constituents in terms of my constituents, my intellectual peers, my investing family class folks, and all my other family from Facebook too. Happy to have y'all in the building. So with that being said, let's get these mics open. Let's get this thing popping, right? And let's have this discussion, right? And you don't have to be saying you're Republican or Democrat. If you choose to, that's on you. But again, We ain't gonna hold it to you if you submit to any of them games. Cause y'all know them neither, right? I can be neutral. I love it. Right. So we got our family Ilba Camilla in the house. We have our family Trickter in the house. Over Marquise in the building. Sister Moore's in the house. Our awesome sister Angie's in the building, right? We have our sister Christy in the house tonight, right? And we got everybody tuning in on the back chat, right? Again, we're gonna get these mics open and get this thing popping again. And I guess I'll start, hey, anybody, just open your mic and let's discuss it. Right? So again, from what we're seeing right now, I'll just premise it this way first. Got the market open. We're seeing what the market's doing right now. All right. We're seeing how Wall Street is taking it, right? Wall Street right now is taking it on the chin. Right. Some people gonna say it's overdue anyway. However you look at it, I'm pretty much hedged anyway. I got puts and I got calls. So I'm positioned. Right. All right, your brother position. But some of you guys may skew a certain way on your own. And again, I'm always open to hear you how you feel about that. And definitely we're gonna get into this election stuff too. So anybody, have at it. The floor is you guys. The floor is open. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it popping.
Peace, power, and profit, everybody. You got a point about the Tea Party deal. I forgot all about them little peanuts, but they show you might have a point there.
Well, think about it. Trump have already came out and pretty much made it very clear. They've even actually named these people. They've got a new name for them, right? Right? They got the Trumpsters. Let's keep it 100. Right? This is how this stuff going to go down. Let me classify it real quick. They got the Trumpsters. Those are the people 100% what? MAGA. Those are going to be people who are going to be objecting to the electoral college vote tomorrow. Right? These diehard Trump fans who've been saying that the election is a fraud and then they're going to contest it. Then you have what they call the Rhino Republicans, right? These stunt type of Republicans who've been, set in their own ways. They typically play by a certain playbook that we always known them to play by, right? They obstructionists. They are very, very, conservative in terms of how they look at things, and they're somewhat still on the fence about everything. And then you have what they call the new neo-Republican. It's the Republican who's understanding their position going forward in terms of how they want the party to be able to kind of formulate itself, to be able to now capture a lot of the votes that they weren't able to get in the beginning, right? Through voting the old school way. Now they're trying to be a little bit more liberal in their Republican perspective, right? These younger Republicans, right? Right? And so you have three classifications right now, literally within the Republican Party. Something that we've never seen, of course, in my lifetime, in terms of historical data. When I did my little research and hearing everybody else talk about these pundits, they said they've never seen nothing like this ever before. So could it be Trump just came in and threw a grenade in the Republican Party and really ID'd who had on Kevlar vests and who did not? Who was about that life and who was not? So this is some good drama, right? This is that good drama, right? Because, we feed off this as investors. So for us, we make money off this. It ain't just gossip, it's money, right? So again, what y'all think about that? What do y'all have on that?
Didn't he say something about running against their governors or something? He's like planning on running against other people. He ain't done as president. He's like, I'm getting ready to run against people.
Again, that's a good point, because think about that. Who has he really made the key target of his Georgia, disdain, his everything that he has a problem with the state of Georgia? Who has he cast that blame on?
The governor.
George Kemp. George Kemp, right? So everything is his fault because go ahead.
I was saying that he said he's going to run against him. I was like, what?
Wait, he gonna run against the governor of Georgia, like in an election?
Yeah.
So basically, when he's saying that, y'all know what he's saying when he say that. He's basically saying that he's gonna do everything he can to make sure that whoever submits that vote to become the next Georgia governor, he's gonna campaign with them over George Kemp. He's gonna help them win votes over that of what? George Kemp, to spite him for the fact that he did not go along with the ideal of what Trump wanted in terms of him being able to kind of take that election.
Yep.
We've never seen that like this ever. Well, I guess in my time, I should say that. I'll speak for myself, right? So this is crazy. So this is the type of stuff we're going to be dealing with for the next couple years, and then the next 4 years, where you had an unseated president Number one, who's still trying to, again, whether you for Trump or not, don't get any feeling, because y'all know I don't care about none of them. He's literally trying to pull a power coup. And I say a power coup for the reason that he's trying to now solidify, break off this new sector of the Republican Party, Jim Jones kind of reality, and say, hey, we're the new, we're the new conservative party. I'm not going to even call them Republicans. Let's be honest here. I'm not going to even call them Republicans. I'm going to call them who they have now branded themselves as this new conservative gang, so to speak. Gang, right? Gang, right? Y'all gonna be the gang, right? They have whole new different ideologies. They move from a whole new different swagger. They have their own little monetary war chest, right? Something like, again, we haven't seen this since, again, David Koresh, right? Jim Jones. Y'all get it. Y'all ain't got to see it. Y'all know what's good. Y'all know the business. And that's gonna be the new, the new shotters, right? With my Caribbean family, them gonna be the new shotters, right? For the Republican Party,
shotters,
right? Who's going? Now, here's what's interesting: who's going to contend with them? Who wants to wrestle against them? Mitch McConnell? I think not. Pat Toomey? I think not. Right? Any of these guys you can name out there, you figure be staunch. Republicans, they don't want to deal with that. Like Trump coming there saying, "Who wants the smoke? I want all the smoke," and don't nobody want to contest it.
Now, the states definitely divided. California, Texas, Atlanta. These are all going to be separate states. South Carolina. There's a big change about to happen. There's definitely a war going on, and people acting like this is not a war. Military is even dividing.
Right now in my backyard, literally down in DC, right now, rallying. That's going to be there tonight, all into tomorrow, to now demonstrate that they are against this election, this presidential election. They're already setting up to be written in the history books as this is the day we divide away from this so-called, cotton candy America reality going forward. Let's keep it 100, guys. This is the moment where we say, if at some point, if it ever going to happen, it's going to go down. Here it is, right? A massive split. Well, it ain't no secret. We were already seeing that with the Democratic Party. Let's be honest. The fact that Trump won, a reality star TV show person won the highest seat in quote unquote the land. And some people say the entire world, right? They like to look at the U.S. president as the commander in chief of everybody. But a reality star guy won the highest seat, had no political background whatsoever.
With a centerfold wife.
With a centerfold wife. Again, whether you for him or against him, had a wild resume, portfolio of business, good business, bad business, dusty business. However, this kind of person took control of the nuclear codes
with a Bart Simpson family script.
And American Family Guy.
Family Guys.
And American Guy, all wrapped up in one.
Oh yes. It's all distraction. He's pretty smart. I mean, he acts in public.
He's like a little ant pile. He just won't go away. The little ants just keep coming up.
Bad rash.
Proving once again that, he's not concerned with the everyday politics of Washington, D.C. I've said this many times. A clock is right twice a day. There's certain things that he professed that I actually agree with.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things I'm like, man, bro, you on some swamp cabbage or something, bro. I don't know what you on, but that ain't gonna fly, bro. And that's just the normal aspect of who everybody should be able to understand. Just what makes this stuff unique, because we know the business as usual model, right? We know that script and business as usual model that was coming out of the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, right? They block everybody. but they want to look out for their own interests. They've been doing that for years. They've been ciphering money out of your pockets. And one thing Trump did is exposed all of it. Am I lying?
Yeah, he definitely did that.
Hate, like him, or love him, or indifferent. He exposed the what we kind of already knew in secret anyway, exactly how Washington gets down.
Wide open.
Again, threw a grenade and saw who had on a flat jacket or didn't. Right in Kevlar.
And so, everybody running for cover. Everybody hiding.
Everybody. The old geriatric style Republicans, the old geriatric type of Democrats, everything that has to do with business as usual has just got really exposed.
He needed leverage, so that was his play, you know.
Well, again, he took the position that he's already been known for, right? This kind of New Yorker with that kind of, you mess with me, I'm gonna mess with you back, and even more so, I'm gonna be messy, I'm gonna be petty, I'm gonna be antagonistic, right?
Exactly.
Compromise. That's how y'all act, ain't you? That's how y'all act up there.
He had to get them off. Had to get them off of their smugness, because if he is coming from a position of not being a politician, he had to come a totally different way. They create that brand and they run with it. They stick to it loyally. That's why he pretends to be stupid a lot of time. He says things straight out of his mouth, and he doesn't. If you watch that show, if you ever watch The Apprentice, he's very shrewd. He thinks through everything that he said.
Right, and he doesn't. He don't take it back. Other people apologize for him. He can say whatever he wants. Oh no, that's not what he meant. He meant this.
To tell you the truth, remember, a lot of times we forget about the president being a figurehead. A lot of times it's so much more behind what's going on, that we're not gonna know, because we're not on that need to know basis. We're not privy to that information.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to be the freaking ringleader. That's what he's doing. He's the ringmaster.
He exposed them in reference to, when you talk about exposing them and dealing with money. When I was reading through a part of the CARES Act where it said that the banks, when I was doing my PowerPoint the other day, where it said that the banks were not supposed to charge you a fee to apply for the PPP. And they charged up to 5%. And nobody did anything.
See how that worked? The provisions that were in play is still being run by the people who we know really control Washington, right? Which is who?
Yeah.
Banking institutions, the monetary institutions, those who have monetary power play leverage, right? The people who pay Washington to go to work for them, not your little vote, right? And I know people are like, hold up, man, what you talking about? Your little vote is dusty and compared to them billions of dollars that be coming out of these people, what money they got.
Dusty.
And a lot of people starting to realize now that the game has always been rigged. You're just late to the party, literally to the party, late to the party.
Yeah.
And those who got the biggest checkbooks get the biggest things done.
Yep.
So if you've been under the illusion, right, that this was every vote is worth something in American value, or on this, democratic system, then I'm sorry to say you've been doing it all wrong. Again, our great elder, Dr. Claude Anderson, has already exposed this. And you still run around in 2021 with delusion of grandeur in your head, right? Moving on this, I believe stuff, you already then lost. Because that's not how business works. That's not how this stuff works, right? And rarely do you ever get a chance to see the true will of the so-called democratic process in terms of the voter take aim and reference in a way where you can really see people having a chance to really sway a type of election that puts the power back in the hands of the people. This Georgia Senate runoff is just that. This is a one-off event, guys. No one saw this coming.
Nope.
You can't put billions of dollars behind this and sway this vote because know why? There's a certain demographic in the state of Georgia and the state of Georgia alone that you cannot buy off one way or the other. Those people are staunch. They set in their way. They've been that way since forever. And so you can't look to this to say, well, you know, again, connect with me this right here. Connect with me the Koch brothers going down to, you know, Columbus, Georgia, or, you know, Savannah, Georgia, trying to, you know, galvanize, you know, the type of Southern white voter or even a black voter, whether or not, even though they do business down there in Savannah, right? I know that area pretty well. Connect with them to say, hey, we need you to turn out for, you know, our candidate. Need people like, man, look, we just looking for some shrimp and grits, and we don't care about all that foodness, man. We just care like y'all can cut some checks. Y'all can cut some checks. Y'all ain't cut no checks, man. We don't do all that around here. We don't care about all the politics stuff around here. You know why? Because we got who? We got the church. The church is our politics. People in the South put their political party in the hands of the church. People 100. Right? I'm from the state of, I know how they move. That's why they call it the Bible Belt for a reason.
Yeah, you said that right.
Right? Yeah. And that's why they tend to vote their same way, like forever, because most people don't really care about a lot of that stuff at the end of the day, because they say, you know what? My power and the faith and my finances and my well-being is going to be coming through the hands of what? They higher power, their deity. It's not going to be at the hands of a Republican governor or of a Democratic senator or a president. They care about that stuff maybe to maybe a tenth of the degree. So that's different. So this is a one-off event that no one saw coming, and ain't nobody that'll be in there can do nothing he can do to change it. Him or her or whomever, right? So that's what makes this stuff unique, guys. And you know what? We're going to see this thing play out. Again, it's getting down to nitty-gritty at this point. Y'all already know, right? As we were just in there discussing, you see what the votes looking like at this point. Warnock has now overtaken what? Leffler again. Finally, again, after being down since around about 67%. This is the part where I was saying earlier. Now that greater Atlanta area is going to start trickling in. That's still yet to come in. That DeKalb, that Decatur, right? That metro area, that Fulton, down near the airport, Riverdale, McDonough, all the way back up to Cobb County, Smyrna, Conyers. I mean, y'all know it. Y'all know it's going to be, right? It's going to start being a lot of them Democratic ballots. They're going to start trickling in like running water, and get ready. That's all I'm going to say. If you haven't already kind of seen understood how this stuff works, you're going to start seeing the vestiges of, again, that black Bible vote come in. When I say that, because like I just said, most people in the South vote through their what? Religious ideology.
Yeah, Warnock, definitely.
Who is Raphael Reverend Warnock?
He a bishop, ain't it?
Reverend Raphael Warnock, too. That's all I need to hear, that first word.
Yep.
Reverend.
That's a rap.
That's a rap, right? Gee, I pray all last night, honey child. Jesus told me
the Lord said,
Reverend, I done cook me some black-eyed peas and collard greens in his honor for good luck. I need to see the man of God take this Senate seat. Let's keep 100. Y'all know the conversation that's happening right now in the state of Georgia. They probably got chitlins cooking. They frying fish, right? Hey, to keep it 100. Don't care about none of all the other stuff y'all talking about. Don't care about none of that stuff that Washington is talking about. They trying to really, get a sweep, be it Democrat or Republican, in terms of political leverage that they will have. Them people don't care about none of that stupidness. They care about what thus said what the Lord. And that's the runoff, again, like I've been saying earlier. That's that part of the game where you can't pay off with money. These people voting off their religiosity or that principle of their life. And it seems to be something that now they feel like they got a little bit of power of, because they actually get to decide the real true presidency. Like, think about that for a reason. They actually get to decide the presidency. Even though Biden won, he just won the ideology of the presidency. He haven't won the full control power structure of the presidency. This Senate race, details that, right? So they are literally in control of him having all the smoke, right? As opposed to some of the smoke. the House and the Senate goes to Joe Biden after coming from a real, somewhat quote unquote extremist value of that they saw in Trump, that they already have a disdain for, because they look at him as a what? A sexist, misogynist, a light rapist, and everything that they said bad about Trump, whether you for him against. Again, this is their ideology, how they looked at him, right, through the prism of their eyes as religious-minded people. Again, we talking about the Bible Belt here, right? You already know that they call him everything except a child of God, right? When they around their real sisters and like, look at here, mother so and so. And can I talk off the record right now? This SO so and so getting on my nerve and all this. Y'all know they talking this out. So again, that's the deciding factor right now in this election. That some woman like that, Miss Patty or Miss Maybell, finna decide the real true presidency. Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100. How say you guys, panel? What say you? Anybody? Anybody want to, appeal to the Bible Belt voter? Right.
I just got that picture of all those black women with their hand on Trump praying. So I don't know how y'all feel about that.
Okay, so interesting point. Family tricked you, right? That's who? Diamond and Silk. That type of energy, whether it was them or not, but you get what I'm saying. That type of energy. That somewhat different cut or breed of black woman who has not acquiesced to the idea of a non-political figure presidency, whether he be Republican or Democrat, he just happened to be Republican, but how he's kind of moves in a way where he's anti-Washington, right? Business as usual, so somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
That type of black voter now is also the new hybrid going forward. He or she is the new, ideology of how we're going to obviously at some point move into a different understanding of how people even see elections now in terms of political parties. Because you guys know as well as I know, again, y'all know I keep it 100, I'm a straight shooter. I don't scratch unless I'm itching, I don't dance unless I hear a jig. Here's the issue. Even when it comes to the cultural value of this country, when people have been looking at the black community as a whole, right? I'm black, so I got to talk black. It's already been a call to honor, or a call to duty, I should say, where they've been already telling black people to form your own party. How many times black people been voting a particular party for like forever, ever, and not have really been getting their voices heard in the way that the way they've been voting? Is it not the same value of insanity in a lot of ways? Yeah, it may benefit a few black people here and there, let's be honest. But for those who, what we talk about tonight, who's the key figure of this election, we talking about the Bible Belt black woman, the Bible Belt black man who votes off their religiosity and not all this other stuff that some of us who are a little bit more educated might, in terms of being able to acquiesce what? Privileges and policies off of presidency, right? They're not voting because of that stuff. They're just saying this guy's a misogynist, this guy here is a racist, I ain't gonna vote for him. That's all they care about. They don't care about they're gonna get some benefits. They don't care if they're gonna get a Trump check. When that Trump check make them think twice. Because you know what, I can pay my tithe this week. Come on with that 2,000 Biden. They gonna give it all to Jesus. They're gonna get that $2,000 check and give it all to Jesus tomorrow. And know they still got eviction notices coming in.
Man, you crazy.
People are guys, am I lying or am I telling the truth? It's either true or not true. Am I lying though? Because they move on a whole new different ideology. So again, with that new black voter is thinking a little bit more what? Critical now. They're saying, I'm done with politics as usual. I don't care if it is under the brand of the Republican, but I like this guy's his political innuendo above all things. So they're voting personality and not party. Y'all get what I'm saying? These people are going personality now as opposed to party. Party has lulled people to sleep over the years under the guise of, hey, we're fighting for you. The sound bites, the rhetoric, right? Keep saying it somewhat till it becomes what? Psychological what? truth in your head. Again, shout out to our brother Uncle Cat. Rod Squad up, right? A well-organized lie defeats the disorganized truth every single time. Ooh, we. Do we not deal with that in politics every single day? It's a well-organized lie that's been put forth every single day that eventually lulls people to sleep, and they go right back to what? Accepting less, while everybody who was not of their branding receives everything that the government officer has to offer. And where you may win and a small little victories for your own personal value in terms of a part of a legislation, piece of legislation or a policy that may benefit you, the greater fold of people who are on either side of that are like, hey, ain't nothing really popping for this. I submitted a vote for this. That bill, the bill that's in question that has really shook up this election even more so, that atrocity of a amalgamated bill that came through for the COVID relief, on top of the NDAA, on top of the basic annual fiscal budget policy that they mashed all together, that HR 133, y'all know what I'm talking about in question, that really caused Trump to throw another grenade almost on the way out the door and expose Republicans and Democrats alike. That people saw pork, earmarked trash going to Iran for gender study programs over $800 million. Some crazy number like that. Y'all remember the numbers? It was like numbers. You had money going to this country for the count amberjack fish. You had one of them going to check the sperm whale count in Nova Scotia. You had almost billions of dollars of American taxpayer money going to all this trash. And people like, bro, I may not be the most savvy political person out there on the planet, but I know doggone well if I'm paying for this and I ain't really benefiting to it, who in the heck put this trash on the legislature? And I hear this, I can't even get these stupid behind people to cut me a check for $5. For $5 bested dollars. They sitting there acting like it's like pulling teeth. And they just earmark over, well over 2 or 3, 40, at least 10, $20 billion to go to all this other stuff that I ain't even had no say so in the matter. You see how that works? So if nothing else, this exposed a lot of people's political naivete. They need to get about their civic duty and realize, regardless if you like this trash or you don't, you still live here. They're still taking your money in taxes. You need to know how these people play ball. Mm-hmm. So when you step up to the plate, you ain't finna get tricked with no curveballs.
For not having any political experience, he knows all the loopholes.
Because he's already tested the system. Look at this. Come on. That's evidence number one. I submit this to the court. Look at the dude tax return. He already whooping the system.
Hey, can you help me out with something? I never did understand this. I feel like some of these companies that were bailed out could literally stop production, just stop for like 10 years if they wanted and still float. Like, why are we bailing? Like, help me understand that.
But you know what? You already know the answer before you even ask that question. I know it's rhetorical to a sense, but I know you want me to go a little deeper. And I'm going to go a little deeper for you, family, because you realize, especially if you follow this channel here, because that's what I love about what we do over here. We are the people who bring education to the next level. When you talk about financial literacy, you talk about how the world is run. We are under capitalistic rulership. Let's not get it twisted. Those who got the biggest bags get the biggest piece of chicken. Am I lying? Right?
We're a corporation. Yeah, we are.
They can take a company, be worth $100 billion, $900 billion, right? $500 billion. Take a majority of that new capital that's been pushed into their market through the equity markets, right? Through free public access to people to invest in these companies, and they still get subsidies and grants from governments here and there, this, that, and the third, right? They worth all this money, and they can take that and mismanage it, be fiduciary irresponsible, run a company like that in the ground, go to Congress and say, hey, we need y'all to cut us a check. I can't give the board of directors additional $10 billion bonus because, we going through hard times right now because of this, that, and the third. And Congress looks at you and say, okay, well, see, hey, but okay, but well, we got to think about the American people too. The American people, do we not send y'all millions of dollars during campaign season? Do we not, well fund your little $500 luncheons and as donors? Do we not give y'all money too that we taking off the American people through the investment side of the house? You see how that work? So when they go under, the first people in line are who? Corporate or the American people?
Us.
Right? Corporate always gonna eat first.
Gotta always protect the king.
You see how that work? Corporate always gonna eat first. Yeah. It's backwards. Keep in mind, it's backwards. Oh, by all intents and purposes, it's backwards. Let's not get it twisted. You're financing a fiduciary, irresponsible corporate entity that mismanages its investors' funds, excuse my language, tricks it off, and then gets an unlimited pass to keep messing up over and over and over. You don't have that privilege or that luxury. They tell you to have 6 months worth of income put away for a rainy day. Do they not? If something like a pandemic happens, through their words, right? Their words, through the fault of none of your own, are they gonna come to your aid?
It keeps you from filing bankruptcy.
They're gonna tell you first
bankruptcy 9 months saved up.
You see how that work? They gonna tell you bear with us a little longer, right? We getting there bear with you, bro. I'm already on E. My needle is under the E right now. It's down there like if it go any further, it's gonna pop out the you see how that work?
Yeah.
Corporations be like, hey, we got revolving credit, we got debt equity lines we can tap, right? We can go to these, these.
We can print money.
Look at here. We got a Fed. Let's forget. Look at here. These people got houses all over the planet, yachts all over every sea inland area. They got money stashed away in places that you can't even begin to imagine.
Yeah.
And they still want you to pull yourself up by your bootstrap and get to the back of the line. While you finance their ability to go out there and be just irresponsible all over again until the next economic hardship hits. You see how that works? Right? You see how that works? So this is the hustle. This is why we go hard for financial literacy. A lot of our people sleep at the wheel. They either too black power to the fact that they're scared of money, or they naive enough to not understand how this stuff works, so they can obviously get the money they need so they can take care of themselves and their family. Void of government, void of a system, void of legislation, void of any of that stuff. Because we just say here in ID, what moves the bottom line at the end of the day? Those who got the bag. If you ain't got no money, what shots can you call? I'll wait. Prove to me your vote count more than a $1 billion bag from the Koch brothers. I'll wait. Go for it. Give me this lecture about the democratic, process in America where my vote is much more important than that of a big bailout from a big check coming from, the board of directors from PG&E. I'll wait. Right? So you already behind before you even think you're finna get started. Because until you really understand how politics work, what leverage do you have? You're living under the illusion of a democratic society. Is America democratic to y'all? I'm just asking for a friend. Be honest. Do America seem democratic to y'all? I'll wait.
Hell no.
No.
It ain't never been democratic.
You think it is? This ain't to try to put you on Front Street. I'm just asking.
That's just some words they like to use.
The true
That's
essence
that
of what
trichology.
I agree, right? Because that's how it comes off, right? It comes off as a lot of well-dressed, window dressing kind of rhetoric, right? That's basically what politics means. It means what? Rhetoric, right? This is old England, right? Old English value of how they have always done value of debate in politics, right? It's through the value of what? Rhetoric. Say it over and over again, convince it to the point that you obviously start to acquiesce to it, regardless of the fact that you're going to get a benefit or not. That's how they got you already out the gate. You got people coming from different ideologies, different backgrounds, different cultural beliefs and background, and now they're having to kind of acquiesce to it because that's the the name of the game in terms of what we're dealing with in America. But you already don't know. It's people that already laid the groundwork to trip you up before you even get started. Think you coming here to, oh, this is nice, right? Again, y'all know my mentality. Just because you can go to McDonald's at 2 a.m. in the morning, you think you got something. Boy, stop. Girl, stop. You think you got some democratic freedom because you can roll up out of bed and go to McDonald's at 2 a.m. in the morning and get what? A dusty little cheeseburger. Oh, you think you're doing it. This is the hustle. So again, you can't trade, minuscule things away for your what? True value and work that you deserve it of. If they taking dang a third of your money every week, if you get paid on a job, they taking a third of every week. And you saying with that third, it's like you sowing, you paying tithes to the government. Y'all follow me in? When they hit you with taxes, you paying what? You paying your tithes to what? Sweet Jesus. No disrespect to my Christian family out there. But again, on the money, it says what? In who we trust? It says in God we trust, right?
God we trust.
So they put their God on the money, right? So they looking for that dollar bill to be the representation of their what? Let me stop. Y'all don't want to work tonight. Let me move on. Move on, Doc. All right. So people who got money know how to what? Submit their ideology or for their will to be what? Sanctioned. So if I'm looking at this thing from my position, a person who's radical when it comes to financial literacy, right? We're financial anarchists in a lot of ways. We didn't bust in the door and say, you know what? We're not going to do it the old way any longer, right? We're not going to go to school so we can get an education so we can get a good what? Fill in that blank, guys.
Come on.
Right?
We want a good job,
right? There you go, right? How long have we been playing that game?
Too much. Too long.
Where's the true benefit? They consider that you doing your civic duty by doing that, though. Is that not what the Republicans have been pushing this entire time? Let's just open back up. No, it'll work itself out. We just open back up. No, let's not give them any more money. We just need to open back up.
Not happening.
There's a war zone out there with this virus.
Yeah, they want to kill people off. That's an easy way for them to kill people off.
Come through. The virus
without actually dropping a bomb on you. They just let you go out there and die from a daggone infection.
The Art of War.
Yep.
Shinzu. Yeah. Read the book.
That John, that's war. That's chemical warfare.
To not have to fire a bullet at all. Trump did already called it the silent killer. China. This China virus. Y'all know the China. Right? In his words, not China. It's the Kung Fu virus, right? He called it the Kung Fu virus.
So we can say half the time.
Trump going in on the joke, all their face. Man, look, y'all put this in. Y'all did this for a reason. Y'all would have messed up my economy. I had the best economy on the planet till y'all dropped this stinking old virus on me. Wuhan, world, whatever. I'm just
now South Africa has this new strain that's totally different, right?
Hold up.
I'm like, then they shouldn't treat it like a virus.
It was already one in Europe before a South African one came.
Yeah, well, this one, they can't treat it the same. This one is totally different. It mutates the proteins. It mutates the spikes. I said, it's funny, South Africa, right? They want to get that apartheid back in place. And then they go to Georgia now. Blacks are having too much control in Georgia. They're trying to control that down too. They're trying to take that down. That's why they let Georgia be open like that, because they're trying to, they're going to play right into the narrative.
Y'all know Georgia was one of the first states to open up first when the coronavirus scenario began to go through all these phase processes, phase 1, phase 2. Y'all remember that CDC guidelines stuff? Georgia was the first state to open up. George Kemp, the one guy that Trump thought that he had as an ally, ended up being his own worst enemy right now in terms of the election because he would not commit fraud. Ain't that something? Ain't that about something?
Oh, wow.
Ain't that about? You see how fickle they really are? How vultures and cutthroat they really are? He was riding with that joker while he was what? Defying science, defying the odds, telling him everything was solid. Hey, this virus is not that serious. Again, y'all heard the tapes like I did. Those tapes are gonna be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars in the future, right? I love playing it down. I love playing it down. And this new tape that came out before we even get into that new tape that came out. Look, I need 11,800 votes.
He was like 11,000 votes.
Trump coming through like, bro. Hey, man, look, I need them. Yeah, I'm gonna need some of them. Yeah, about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna need
again,
like 11,000 more of them joints.
Say again, sis.
I was saying Trump was like, yeah, I'm gonna need 11,000 more of them joints.
I need y'all to find me 11,800 votes from somewhere. I don't care where you get them from. When I show up, come Wednesday, when I get ready to pull this again, this coup off, I'm gonna need y'all to have them votes on ice. Couldn't make this stuff up, guys. This is the kind of stuff that they complain about that's happening all over what? Africa, all the coups, right? Coups that India, right? These kind of still, derelict duty values of governance that they got with this kind of dictator communist, they call it that, but a lot of these people, they got cultural tradition that they follow, and that's how they go about making a political decision, right? Of course, we see it as something odd and evil because we coming from the American lens point of view.
If we think we placated now, we about to go right into I don't know another word, but placating. They're placating us with the virus.
Because now these spots blowed up. They can't do politics as usual anymore. Well, if they do, they're gonna try to nuance it in little bit by little bit to the point where they feel like the people gonna be able to forget it at some point. That's what they always been doing, right? Brush y'all, chump y'all, brush y'all, chump y'all. Long enough, then you get to the point you just get frustrated. You say, no, I ain't gonna ask no more. Forget it then. That's politics.
Can I have that crumb?
Right? Because you ain't coming with no bag. That's what they look at you like this. When they look at you, they looking at you like, then they look at you with their head caught to the side like, you supposed to be on code and know what that means. You still sitting there like, I submitted my vote. Bro, do I need to tell you how this really works? Get on your Cash App. And my Dr. Umar Johnson for it. Get on your Cash App. Get on your PayPal. I need to see something in my Democratic donor ballot. I need to see something in Republican conference. Get on your Cash App. Run them Cash Apps. I don't need. You showed up someone I done submitted a vote. Them people look at you like, how you even got in here? Security? How you even get in here? Security? This is again. So what do we do?
Invested in Mueve Ashinge's classes. He's great with economic teaching at Mega Evers College. I have to plug that, but that's all we got to do: invest in ourselves.
The power is always in the hand of people. That's why they assassinate all the people who were speaking that and preaching that. They murked all of them.
They need somebody to sell to, so they can't kill everybody.
What's the blueprint? Go to school so you can get a what?
Get your vaccines.
You
can get a good what? Y'all know the script. Don't act like y'all know the script now just because y'all done turned radical and financially literate. Go to school so you can get a good what?
Job.
Good education so you can get a good what?
A degree. Degree?
Come on, sister. And good job.
I said job. I see it. I got to answer some more.
I need you on that assembly line tomorrow. Stop playing. You don't even know about a high school diploma. We got you already. A position you can hold for 20 years and we stay up in business. And we'll start up at 7:25. By 20, you might be at 19. Get excited. What? You sign up like, hey, so I'm in there.
Yo, this my friend is been locked up for about 30 years, and he says the whole prison right now is COVID. Everybody caught COVID right now. Only a few inmates without COVID. You imagine that? So we could just imagine all the prisons gonna be the guinea pigs for the vaccines. They're gonna get all the vaccines before the politicians get the vaccine.
You can go to the CDC website if they already telling you how they have the response value for though not the coronavirus. They're already trying to make. Matter of fact, after that last bill that came through, this disgrace again, and Trump word disgrace of a bill they tried to push through. In that bill, I don't know if y'all know or not, they actually penciled in, meaning the Republican and Democrat penciled in that they are now considered essential workers and they should be all on first in line to now get the vaccine. They slipped that bill, that part of that bill right underneath y'all noses.
Wow. And the
They are in the hospital.
entertainers are essential workers now in California. I think that they made entertainers essential workers, so that's only a start.
Hustling people.
I swear.
As if a doctor, a nurse, these people that really been putting their life in line, a person that's been working at Walmart during the real thick of this pandemic is more of an essential worker than a dusty joker that got millions of dollars sitting around saying just because he can't get on his little private jet and go to a heavy populous area, now all of a sudden he or she is spoiled and crying. I can't do nothing. I don't know I'm gonna spend all my millions at now. I'm essential. I make people smile and laugh. And if you don't sit your dusty, rusty self down somewhere, and these people sitting there saying, "Hey, we need y'all to loosen some of this, this political, these political change, so we can still get out there and live our life, our best life. We essential. We make people smile and laugh, don't we? We do movies and all that. What?
Yeah.
America is Fantasy Island. Stop playing. This is Fantasy Island 101. Stop playing. This is the land of decadence. Stop playing. There's people right now in Las Vegas throwing away, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of truffles right now in the garbage can. They already charging, $100 a quarter ounce for a mushroom in the ground, and they're gonna go right in the garbage can. When nobody eats off the buffet line at the Bellagio or the Caesars or the Venetian. Decadence. And these are the same people like looking at, man, look, man, we need to be giving those $600 check to the American people, man. We need that money to go to what? To us, the corporation. We need that money, for Vegas. For Vegas? Cruise line, hey, we need that money so we can cruise around, the Caribbean islands and, Nova Scotia. We need that money for the cruise line. We need, man. Y'all can't be giving no money to the American people. We need that money first. A cruise? This is the hustle.
Yeah, cruise, they feed a lot of people and oil, all that. Those markets get fed.
So they're looking at these people as essential over you. And you saying, no, but this is a democratic society.
I'm democratic.
If you don't get out of here with
My government won't kill me. My government won't hurt me.
They would never lie to me. Man, the government ain't never did me wrong. We done been in them circles before, Sister Mo. Ain't no call no shots. Ain't throw no shot. Argued us down about that. The government ain't gonna never. The government don't lie.
It's sad that if it's like that here, imagine the other countries. When you look at the real China and the real India, the real South Korea, North Korea, what people really go through. Muslims, even in the Muslims are being enslaved right now. Chickens come home to roost, all of that stuff going on. There's a lot going on that we don't see. There's definitely a lot of war going on.
Everybody. The coronavirus is exposing everybody.
Yeah.
The people been asleep because they had the privilege to go to McDonald's at 2 a.m. in the morning. They thought they had something.
Exactly.
And all the wealth that they have been generating, the resources underneath their feet that they're supposed to partake in, been going out the back door. in large swaths. I'm talking about buggy full, trunks full. And people still saying, but that's all right. I can still go to the club though. At least we can hang out. At least we ain't got to, and this, that, and the third. They're making that trade-off in their mind. Psychologically, they think they actually got something.
Yeah.
When the people that's milking them, that's robbing them in their face on Broadway, looking them straight in their face while they pickpocketing them, us looked at like, you know what? That's all right. I know you still doing the will of everybody. I know you're going. What? Again, this is what we're dealing with. So no matter who gets elected or selected, some people going to say that or not, well, however you want to position it. Again, I'm all for all the smoke in that perspective because I realize people, when it comes to civics, again, we know they don't teach civics in school the way they're supposed to. It's one of the same reasons why they do not teach financial literacy in the way that they should do. They don't teach you how to be empowered to break the status quo model that they have in play. We need workers. We don't need entrepreneurs. No matter how much they sit there and tell y'all that sometime on TV to make you feel good, man, stop fooling yourself. They need worker bees. All you do is go around and reaffirm that same tired script. That's all right, little Johnny. Keep your nose clean. Stay out of trouble. Go to school. Get you a good education so you can get you a good job and you'll be all right. You say that long enough to a child, what's going to happen? They're going to take ownership of it. A well-organized lie defeats a disorganized truth every single time. Ooh, wee! You got your kids on the chitlin circuit already. They're already on the chitlin line. They can't wait to be somebody employee. Here it is, everybody else child.
Not mine.
Go right to the what? To the stock market. Look at where my prospect is at, Dad. I got you right here. Where them CUSIP numbers at? Run them CUSIP numbers. Run them CUSIP numbers. See, they already know it's a whole new different ball game. What you know about CUSIP numbers? Oh, okay, yeah, all right, yeah, I got you. Get right to it, boss. Get right to it.
What do you think is gonna happen to Bitcoin? Because I know it flies up, it flies down. It's very volatile, but it's just still gonna be growing. As far as the digital currency that's about to happen, that's really what related to blockchain. What's gonna happen with Bitcoin? What do you think?
It's been doing what it was designed to do, sis. It's playing the role of what? Anarchy 99. We the people.
Mm-hmm.
If we can't shift policy through voting like we thought we could, then we'll do it through what? Challenging the one thing that got a hold on every nation on the planet. The banking institution, the central bankers.
Right.
We know who run those cartels. We ain't got to see it act naive. The Rothschilds and all them types, y'all know the business. We ain't got to see it play that game. Y'all know control, whatever. You take them out the game, you might have something, right? But you ain't going to do it working for Mr. Charlie for 20 years to get you a little pension and a turkey and a little plaque on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to accumulate wealth being somebody else's step and fetch it. That's just how the real world works. People get lucky and slip through the cracks. I get it. But look at the odds. What's the odds is a person coming in, working 20 years, and walking away with at least 10 million? After 20 years. They're already telling you that $1 million ain't no money we're even retired with going forward. Cost of living goes up. Inflationary targets now with the Fed is not 1%, it's 2% now. That means their level of inflation is at a higher multiple than it has ever been in American history, and they're going to keep it that way going forward. It's not even going to be what they call a one-off now. That means everything has to go up to accumulate for all the printing that they've been doing. Yeah. The fact that they've been to keep interest rates at dang near zero interest rate for the next 2-3 years already has disrupted the entire financial system.
It's sad what they do with the farms too. It's like crazy.
Last on the totem pole, reality. Those scenarios used to have mean something. Of course, in terms of what they say mean, because this country inception was based on what? Farming, horticulture, agriculture. Like any scenario where you come into a raw environment, you got to go into the ground, or pluck off the trees, or pull out the river, right? Once those things, seem to be the ruby or the fashion value of how you built it. Now it's like, okay, yeah, about that. We can get, we can import, that cheese from Switzerland, man. We don't care about you in Wisconsin and your little dusty little cheese up there. you get uppity, we'll get it out of Wisconsin. Switzerland. We get the shrimps. You talking about you want to pull out the coast of Carolina area, right? Them little Gulf Coast shrimp, they call it. Man, we go right over to Thailand and get them shrimp for about 2 cents a piece. Boy, stop playing. Get up and down there, South Carolina, North Carolina. Watch what we do to you. We'll price you out the market or cut you out the market. These people found a way how to shake and move and hustle off your tax dollars. And you still said, I got the power to vote though. I can go vote. I care about vote. I'm an American. What?
This is what my ancestors fought for and died for.
Man, the right to what?
But when the system is different, somebody in chat room said Constitution. I said, what Constitution? When we became corporation, Constitution.
Man, these jokers move on a whole new different white paper now. They got a whole new different prospectus. That's literally their Constitution is a prospectus.
It's a prospectus.
Keep it 100.
Crazy.
So again, a lot of us understand it because this is the lane that we travel in, right? We are now engaging markets. We understand, how to acquire some money on our own, right? We know how to present our own bag. We know how to, in a lot of ways, feed our own, right? Shelter our own, clothe our own, void of the system analysis where they can tell you how, when not to, all that stuff, right? They don't control the temperature in your house once you learn how to get your own money. See how that work? If more people are afraid to realize that, then again, that part of society who, really getting all excited about this election, right? They doing all this just to be disappointed later anyway. But they think they're doing this civic duty. That much that they feel like they think, feel like they got power. But again, like I said earlier, this is a one-off event. This is something that they didn't see coming. The power of the presidency is going to be in the hands of a joker that probably got some fatbacks on the stove right now, boiling for the next day to eat. Not just tonight, but for tomorrow. And they already got it. Man, look. Miss Hattie Mae don't even care about all that foods you talk about right now. You had to drag her out the house to go vote. Only way she did it because the reverend was on the what? The good reverend was on the ballot. Oh, Reverend Warnock on the ballot? He used to preach at Dr. Martin Luther King old church. Oh, child, get my son the best out the closet, girl. Get my high heels and go dust them off. They gonna get my vote finally. Finally, I got somebody I can vote for now. I go vote tonight.
What happened to Jack Ma, African Emporium? What happened to Jack Ma?
Oh, that's another comes in this. China got him on the road.
Got an aneurysm.
Say again?
Everybody got their golden ticket right now. Jack Ma disappears. Nobody can find him. Dr. Dre got an aneurysm. All the biggest runners right now.
It's a hot mess out there right now. Everything all up
underground
in the air. But again, COVID, COVID is doing what it was designed to do. For lack of a better way of putting it, COVID is doing what it was designed to do.
Yeah. Yep.
Here's how it will get interesting. Who were the first people to catch COVID in America? Average everyday people or well-to-do people?
A couple of well-to-do. Tom Hanks. No.
A lot of them were catching that Rona. Because they was the ones out there jet setting all over the place, exposing everybody. They was the one bringing that trash back to everybody.
Tom Hanks, and then he moved, and then now he's in Greece.
They was the jokers out there.
Now he's a citizen in Greece, hiding away from those pedophilia rumors.
Scenario.
Oh my
Steve
goodness.
Wozniak, the co-founder of Apple, they're saying that he's what? Ground 01. He's citizen 1 of the COVID spreader. He's the super spreader. They're saying he might have been the first person, him and his wife, to bring that trash back to America. He was actually in China, in the Wuhan region, flew out of the air because he was over there on some business, came back to America, and all of a sudden Washington got hit. And they saying he was saying, well, pretty much he think he was the one that brought the trash back.
You don't think it was through military? The same way HIV was, the same way it was in Fort Dix? You don't think it was through military? Them transporting these things all over the place. I get to South Africa. I'm so mad about that. Yeah, when I read that, I was like, oh man, wow.
It could be a myriad of different things, but I will say this here: one thing is for certain, two things for sure. These people capitalize off this thing in more ways than you can even imagine. They don't care who started, when they started, how it started, if they planned it, if they didn't, if it was an incubator, if it was not, if it was a bat and a snake hump that made a baby. They don't care about none of that.
They took down all those bestiality videos out of Pornhub. They get me sick. These people, they get me so sick. Coronavirus is spread by these animals. All of a sudden, okay, then why everybody still got dogs in the house? Oh, okay. You just marrying your dog the other day.
Interesting though, because they again to them, how anybody that's a capitalist, right, or an opportunist, they don't care what tips the scale. They don't care what breaks the levee. Right. They don't care what causes the destruction. Right. First thing they say is, how can I what? Benefit off of it.
True. They let a few take it for the team, you know. They draw straws and they brave that way.
People keep wanting to not actually understand that Tuskegee experiment happened only a few years ago. Stop playing.
Yeah, that's
this was literally a few days ago. In the grand scheme of historical context. This literally was a few days ago.
Ebola, HIV, all of these things, all manufactured.
I was different run up that timeline. So you already know where I'm going with this. So you think seriously?
Terrible.
Again, there's a different ideology of thought that people are moving under, and they are highly, highly misinformed, purposely.
Totally. Yeah, these other people, the unbothered.
Stick your head in the sand. This is stick your head in the sand type of what? Politics around here. I ain't see it, right? I ain't even see that there.
Right.
I ain't see that cop had that woman pulled over, searching her all in her, private parts like he was gynecologist. I ain't even see that cop, raping that woman, and man, I ain't see that. I wasn't running my license. Not today. I ain't see this, cop shooting this guy in the back, 5 or 6 times, and the guy was surrendering with his hands up and walking, still plug him in the back with them 45 shells. I ain't see none of that. What you talking about? Because that person don't want to be disrupted so they can go to McDonald's at 2 a.m. in the morning and get them a little dusty little soy burger. They don't want to be inconvenienced. Ooh. This is that fake patriotism, right? That's the part where this whole issue with Trump and exposing this kind of, politics usual scenario with the Republican Party is just that. They don't want their status quo disrupted. The way they've been hooking and booking and snaking and conniving and stealing and willing and backdoor, moving the meat out the refrigerator and saying nothing in the kitchen but, beans in the cabinet. They ran all the meat out the freezer to back there and sold it off.
Gotta watch it. The food is moldy, full of listeria right now, salmonella.
This is a game that's been played for quite a while in this country. Ain't nothing changing. It happens in more ways around other sects of society.
True.
It's always a power struggle.
Mm-hmm.
We know it to be ubiquitous when we say the power's in the hands of the people. Of course it is, because the people can overrun the dictatorships, the totalitarians, the authoritarians. The people can easily overrun them, but they won't. Why? Because if they feel like they take out the cancer, who gonna call the shots?
Mm-hmm.
That they acquiesced to already and got comfortable with. They're scared to see power in their hands. I don't want that. Man, we need to tear down the power structure though. Let's get my sticks and gavel and pickets and stick. Man, let's go to Washington. Okay, you overthrew Washington. Who's gonna lead now, man? Look, I don't want that. What? You did all this to what? Plan. Y'all know I always like to say, he that is most comfortable is least likely to change. He that is most comfortable is least likely to change. They just like to complain a lot. That's it. They just like to complain a lot. So you can hear them every now and then, they can go right back to doing what? Nothing. Well, at least they heard me. I got them. So people ain't serious about really, again, effectively making the type of level of change that could really change their dynamic, right? Their situation from static to dynamic, I should say. A lot of people live in static lives. They're not having any kind of dynamic value in their life right now. But again, they got a couple little accoutrements, right? They got McDonald's, they got Walmart, they got Sunday football and basketball, track and field, right? They got a cell phone, Obama phone, right?
God.
They straight.
It's crazy because those phones are all gonna get cut off at one time. It's like
the big recall and all the Obama phones, right? They got some accoutrement, the small little accoutrement. They've traded in what they feel like should be real value and power, financial value, for trinkets. This is an old hustle game. This been happening since time immemorial throughout all different, sects of history.
It's the shiny object.
Facts. Right? So again, we're not seeing anything that we're not already familiar with. We're not witnessing something that we haven't already witnessed. Right? It just have a different spotlight on it that it's hitting different now. Right? It's hitting different now because it's somewhat in your face because of the level of emergency that's surrounding it, I should say. The fact that the power structure has been disrupted, and now those who are now jockeying to get this new value of what they consider to be a new form of power, right? Everybody want in. Again, all them bags that were going out the back door, right, in this porky behind bill that came through the HR 133, House Resolution 133, trash, right? The fact that Trump even called it disgraceful, that's all some people need to hear. Or Trump said disgraceful, it's disgraceful, it's trash. They've been. I ain't conspiracy. See, overall. See, I told you, Cletus. I told you I ain't crazy. Right? I told you Washington been already stealing and willing and dealing behind our backs. That same scenario that Trump called disgraceful. He actually signed off on it the year prior, the same way. Had nothing to say about it. The same annual budget that comes through the Senate and the House every year, the president still had to sign off on it. He didn't say nothing about it. At the end of 2019, did he? I'll wait. A lot of them same earmarks and pork was still in them same bills at that point. We can go pull up the House Resolution and show you. That's how that worked. How many people gonna spend a lot of time on Congress.org? Crickets. Crickets. Them slain legislation and House resolutions, amendments, ratification bills, all that stuff is public record. And they're showing the president sign off on it when he's, Y'all want to count how many legs, crickets get when they get mutated and hit with, a radioactive wheels? We'll pay $800 billion for that. Okay, I'll sign off on that. It's been happening. See what I'm saying? So now it's outraged because, he polarized. He getting ready to go out. It's a big brouhaha behind everything. Now all of a sudden, Oh man, this is and the fact that they can't work together, I mean the Democrats and Republicans, and waited this long to push that bill through when they could have been did it. The fact that they sitting there filibustering each other, kicking the can down the road, they exposed their own self. Because they put that bill, try to lump it all in one at a point where everybody was watching finally. Everybody was waiting because they wanted stimulus check. Where the bill's at? Where that bill at? Where that bill at? Now you got people watching. They get the bill. They say, "Oh, what's all this?" And y'all don't want to give us. Y'all fighting to not give us $600, and y'all finna give East Asia, $10 billion to throw in your funniest insert right there, and then let it fly. So again, nothing that we don't know, that we have not already been prepared for. We saw $1 trillion go into the hands of some of the richest people on the planet during the pandemic. You had new billionaires that were made under the COVID pandemic. You had new millionaires that were made under the pandemic. You had new 100,000-aires under the pandemic, right? New 10,000-aires that were made under the pandemic. It was people that got money during the pandemic who never thought they'd been in a position to make those kind of moves ever before, because they took a chance on themselves. They watched the Sister Monica video. They followed a Sister Camille. They'll listen to Brother Oba Marquise. They listen to a Sister Andy. They was following a Sister Crystal. They was listen to Brother Trick. You'll say, "Hey man, have y'all thought about investing in the stock market?" They watched the Brother Brandon go in about a referral link for a brokerage app. Anybody that they heard y'all in passing speak about how to get some money. That did require that they had to pick up a pitchfork, pick up any of that stuff, blow the knees out, blow the backs out, do all this stuff. All they had to do was just follow some data, get some some study habits about yourself, follow this stuff, and then push some buttons. And go sit on a boat all day. Right? Or at the park, or do whatever you want to do. Change the entire game for a lot of people. And the first thing the person said, this is what they've been hiding from me. They ain't been hiding, they've been right here all along. They just ain't even teaching you this. They ain't programmed you for this. They programmed you to go sit 8 hours for Mr. Charlie. Give him 8. Give him a good 8. At least give him a good 8. What? For $7.25 an hour. Get excited. Ooh, wee. Getting paid, young blood. Get paid. So, again, does it really matter who gets selected or elected?
Nope. Just reading those lines.
Last time I checked, like, if you ain't got no bag to put up anyway, you still ain't gonna get your little needs met. You come out better producing your own scenario, writing your own laws in and around your life. Right, 100% right, Sister G. They're giving Egypt over $1 billion. Egypt getting $1 billion to do what? Rape, rob, and pillage the old historical context of what Egypt was before these settlers and invasionists and despots from other nations did when they came and laid waste in that region anyway. Run around there looking like none than the people that's on them hieroglyphs, but all of a sudden they the Egyptians. If y'all don't sit y'all dusty goat herding self down somewhere. No disrespect, but much disrespect. You came from trash, and now you done made the place that used to be royal even more trashier. And here it is, we got to give you money to make money off the people land that it really belonged to, because you can't benefit off the treasure that was already laid before you as an immigrant coming in the land. I ain't seen that one American sign up for that money to go to Egypt. I know I didn't see it when I was like, they ain't say, "Hey brother, do you feel like we should give Egypt $1 billion?" Or Israel $30 billion every year. They ain't hit me up one time and say, "Hey man, how you feel about us giving Israel $30 billion every year of taxpayers' money?" People don't want to deal with the truth.
30 billion. I mean, they ain't got our reparations. Huh.
That money go faithfully every year. Every year. Everybody got to submit to do a what? Nuclear war audit, but no one is audited Israel. They got nuclear trash all underneath the grounds in Israel.
You heard about
go ahead, sis.
They said they didn't know when the Palestinians were going to get the I said they were saying they don't know when the Palestinians are going to get the shot. Israel's first in line. Their whole country is getting the COVID vaccine.
They already made it. You saw the news the other day, right? Actually, it came out more today. Moderna already cut a deal with Israel to get them some what? A ton of vials.
Yep.
As if Palestine ain't literally a block. That's like from going like when you think about the boroughs in New York, and it's like one street to separate one borough from the next. That's how close Palestine is to Israel. As if the people on that side of the track is any less affected by the virus than the people that's on this side. And now they're making it about what? It's a religious hostility thing. Jews
I've been there. I've been to Israel. I know.
You know, again,
I seen them gassing the people.
It's one long, ugly wall that they're trying to build like in Mexico. It's like that separate them from. And they just keep pushing that border back further and further now. They just keep taking away more land for the Palestinians. Then every year they move that wall a little bit more inland. They sit there like Battleship Galactico there. Like, God, dog, Joe, we were just over here hustling the other day in this little area. Now we can't even hang out here no more. No, bro, Israel got that today. They finally got it out of the area.
They be gassing them people. It's crazy. I got video.
Y'all know the stories. I ain't, again. See, this is why I say, it's weird too, because you ain't got to be. Look at him, man. See, people be playing around. Jokers don't want to really be about that life. They want to play a good game or talk a good game. I'm trying to live the reality. I'm pissed off it took me this long to get to where I need to go. And that was based upon the misinformation that we got as well, younger people, right? The indoctrination program that tells you to go out there and be a good worker bee. And keep supporting the queen bee. In this case, it's a queen king bee. It's a hybrid. It's the president. Right? Mm-hmm. Here it is. You sitting there supporting the man. So, how dare you make the same mistake to your children? How dare you make the same mistake for your children? Because you worry about what Miss Gladys is going to say. Or what Miss Hattie Mae going to say about you because you don't want them to go the same narrative that they acquiesce to. No, my children ain't finna do that there. No, you can't be posing them with that foolishness either. Nope, not going to happen. Your greatest asset is your what? Your offspring. Your greatest asset is your offspring. You store your treasures in your offspring. You give them nothing, they have nothing to fight with. That means the end of your line ends with if they go out there and mess it off, whatever left you did try to. It's like preparing troops to go to battle. You sitting in the battle with what? Flip flops on, biker shorts, right? They going to look, rubber bands for bullets, and they thumping staples, and Jokers got AK-47, SK-7, 7.45 millimeter round, 50 cal round headed towards them, and them Jokers out there with a 50 cap to the back, talking about we got this. If you don't sit your Wakanda watching self down somewhere and realize this is serious out here.
Imaginary.
Just keep it 100. So the game is to be what? You have to realize, again, you are the biggest commercial marketing entity ever that your children are going to support. Again, the woman is the first teacher, right? Can we agree to that, ladies? The woman is the first teacher.
Absolutely.
Can we agree to that, ladies?
Yeah, definitely.
Ladies, can we agree that the woman is the first teacher?
Yes, sir.
So if she the first teacher, kids acquiesce to mothers faster than they acquiesce to fathers, do they not? So what is she feeding the children?
Garbage.
Well,
They get their first instruction through the what? Through the breast, right?
milk.
They get their first neuro instruction through the breast, through the colostrum, right?
Right.
Builds up the brain cells, builds up all this epigenetics and horizontal gene transfer stuff. Y'all know the sign. And then they start building on their what? Cognitive skills, right? Walk, read, write, speak, all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then they move into what? Ideology, right? And then they move into what? Philosophy, right?
Boy, you're killing them with the pop quiz.
You see how that works? And then they hit you with a whole dose of what? Religiosity. When they hit you that religiosity, that's when it's game. That's when it's really look.
Game over.
Never do nothing too radical to draw attention to yourself. Because if you do that, now everybody gonna be looking at what? Mom and dad, as if we did something wrong. What?
You're so right. Whenever they come up with a new find about how great the mind works, they capitalize on it. They know that kids learn the most until they're 8 years old. But before, like say, England was the last to actually have children start school so early. United States started sending kids to pre-K, and 3 years old they go into school, and because they know about their mindsets, about how everything gets they're going to learn the most they can learn from ages 1 to 8. They don't let the children be children anymore. It's just sad.
What they doing? What they always doing? They building robots.
Exactly.
Free world thinkers.
Exactly.
We need assembly line workers.
Yeah.
I need you on the assembly line tomorrow morning, little Ray. Yeah, I know you 13, 14, but look at him. I'm gonna need you on that assembly line by the next 3 years. As soon as you hit that, as soon as you have that graduation commencement, next day I need you on that assembly line.
Mm-hmm.
At the poetry plant.
Yeah, they don't teach you to critically think. So that's why everybody, when you present certain concepts, people can't grasp it. Because it's not something they heard on TV.
And that's how they look at it. It's like an equitable, earnest job. That's a good working man. Look at he at the poetry plant every day. That's a good man. If you don't sit your geriatric hustling, saw shoes, what? Want a man to walk around feeling proud about 7.25 an hour, and his whole aura is priceless. His talents and energy that he offers is priceless, and you want to convince him that he worth $7.25 an hour until he starts taking ownership of it. He starts doing that. He starts seeing himself at that poetry plant for 20 years. Do he not? I got something.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, you familiar with stock options? Stock options, what's that?
That's gambling.
Bible says stay away from gambling. Bible says stay away from gambling. They instantly associate that with going against their religiosity. You see the paradigm here? You see the insidious nature of programming your children to be what?
Robot.
Consumers.
Right.
I keep failing his debts, man.
Stepping fetches.
Stepping bitches.
Baby coons.
Yeah.
You see how insidious
where
that is?
Baby coons came from.
Jewish kids jump off the porch at 12 and 13 with a bag doing their bar mitzvah. They jump off the porch at 13 and 14 years old with a bag. Family come together, let's raise some money for the child.
A big
Some
bag.
of the Jewish families loaded. They already robbed everybody this anyway. Hey, here's $100,000 start y'all. Here's $200,000 start y'all. Here's $30,000 to start y'all. At 14 and 15 years old, you like, okay, put it all in Tesla. What?
13.
Put it all in
13 is a bar and bat mitzvah. 13. I have played a lot of those parties. The envelopes.
12 and 13.
Crazy. 13 years old. Bar and bat mitzvahs.
Bad out the gate.
Yeah, 12 years old. They're men.
Your child having a pinata party
13.
at 13. They bust the pinata open and candy fall from the dollar store. The bar mitzvah for the 13-year-old Jew, they have a pinata bar mitzvah. They bust the pinata open and number what? Rolls and stacks of $10,000 rolls fall out the bottom of the pinata in cash. Yeah, this is bar mitzvah. We doing this time around. Get excited.
Yeah, that's a rite of passage. Going into man and womanhood. Here's 500 grand.
Yeah, that's one thing I always thought we needed to get back to, the rites of passage, and like Respect to Blue Nile rites of passage at Abyssinian Baptist Church. They do a fantastic program here in Harlem. Rites of passage, very important.
I didn't know you was in New York, sis.
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm in the Bronx right now, but I'm a Brooklynite at heart.
I grew up in Queens. I still live in Queens.
Okay. My dad lived there for a long time before he passed, but yeah. In St. Albans, Cambria Heights.
I grew up in Cambria Heights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know any Jamaican families?
I know lots of Jamaicans. I mean, there's a Cambria Heights now. It got like a big Haitian community, but when I grew up, it was all Black Americans. We used to have to fight white people just to go to school, go to the park, all that. Till we ran them off. But now there's a large Haitian community in Cambria Heights.
Cambria Heights. Yeah.
They don't know nothing about that.
I eat those patties. I have very good friends from the Haitian community. In Flatbush, we have everybody, all the Caribbean islands in Flatbush.
Oh yeah, well, my mother's side of the family from Brooklyn. So again, I remember when all of that was just straight up African Americans.
Mm-hmm.
They saw them brownstones and went down south.
Yeah. That was cool. Yeah, at the time, that when your mother was there, that probably was when we had our own bank on downtown Manhattan, where Citibank came. I mean, downtown Brooklyn at 7th Avenue, around there.
I had to ask her. I can't ask.
The Blacks from Bed-Stuy opened up their own bank. Very successful bank for.
Yeah, I had to ask my uncle, my brother.
I
have to ask my uncle, my mother's brother.
Mm-hmm. They had a bank until Citibank came and then took, of course, the size of it took over.
Oh. Wow.
So, in that awesome exchange y'all had, see what came out of that? Y'all talked about culture and financial value all in one scenario, where you realized you saw a generation thing that come through, and you saw evolution, you saw change, you saw disruption, you saw all these things, and you say, well, what was the end result out of that generation?
Mm-hmm.
We started here, we ended here.
Mm-hmm.
Was it progress or was it process? Was it progress or was it process?
Was it working? Because my father, he always had a bunch of businesses, still does. I mean, he was a New York City cop, but he had a grocery store, corner store, a bunch of apartment buildings, and a lot of people in the community had all that stuff, like supermarkets, and the minute they could work in Manhattan, it was kind of like a wrap.
So that's pretty much a case study of what we just talked about. It went from progress to process.
Right. The program.
It went from authentic, organic to what? Fillers, unnatural ingredients, processed living. Mm-hmm. You had what you need to build a kingdom, and it got usurped, and now it's just a when power comes into play, it's a continuity event. It's a continuity value that has to be undertaken. Again, if I, the parent, leave you with a business, I specifically leave you special instructions. This is the family's business. Don't muck it up. Your kids are supposed to get off this after you leave, after it grew bigger than what we had it at. If you let someone usurp it from you, this ends after we done did all this. It's a different mindset when you leave that level of responsibility and you charge your children with it and you program them early, meaning you need to be able to program your children before the system programs.
Absolutely.
I just said the woman is the first teacher. Yeah. Everybody agreed. So apparently the man obviously has it. Y'all know what he's supposed to be doing. Building. While she's instructing, he's supposed to be somewhere out there what? Building. Dad built the business. Mama gave the instructions. She put laid the game down flat. Hey, don't muck it up. If they come in your environment and reverse engineer it, well, guess what you need to do? Go back in there and reverse engineer theirs.
Right. Do it new. Level playing ground.
This needs to be the new Colonel Sanders right here.
Okay.
They got KFC. We got CFC.
CFK.
Kirkwood fried chicken. And they got McDonald's, we got McDowell's. Come through, coming to America too. Come through. They got the golden arches, we got the golden arch.
Wow.
They got special sauce, all lettuce, beef patties, sticks, and cheese. We got, you fill in the rest. You gotta take what's already laid out there, reverse engineer, and put that power back in the hands of your. I say it because we know that there's enough for it to go around. Mm-hmm. Here's how we know it to be true, because we engage these markets every day, do we not? I don't care how many hours a day. You can't even trade enough to make all the kind of money that's available for us to make. If these people got an unlimited tap to resources and power through wealth, accruing aspects, then what does that tell you? They have an unlimited tap. How long does it take to curate a good business? It takes years. It takes years to curate a good business. And to keep the doors open and the lights on. Think about all the founded black restaurants that came out of the greater New York area, going back as early as the early 80s, and how many of them survived until the 2000s?
Wow.
Think about that for a moment. These were cornerstone places where some of the greats to sit at and eat at and politic at and do business at. Some of the business ain't here today. And now, Asian family came in from Korea and bought it out. Miss Hattie's had the macaroni recipe for 30 years. Now, Miss Kim, she in the kitchen put reverse engineered. Ahmed from Iran, he frying chicken when it used to be Big Daddy used to be the one frying the chicken not Ahmed that came in and got the recipe and reverse engineered. Ahmed got the best fried chicken in the hood. What? Ahmed, bro, you don't eat fried chicken.
Did you ever hear? Did you say the story about the seeds that they went to India and Monsanto took all their seeds and gave them the Monsanto seeds?
That's old. You know, you already know how that. The Monsanto, come on, you know what I know. See, that's capitalism.
Now they're getting sick. They don't have those. They don't have their own heirloom crops anymore. That's crazy. When they were talking about opening up the borders for the immigrants, that's what when they say China and India is at the top, they're preparing here for the influx of people from India, people from China. But
everybody got to sit at the dinner table. People just hadn't figured out how to section it in a way where we don't intrude on each person's ability to live the best life. Is this plant not big enough for everybody to be wealthy?
Exactly.
Stop playing.
In their own right.
Throwing away hundreds of thousands worth of troubles, tens of thousands worth of troubles tonight in Las Vegas right now. Throwing away that kind of stuff in the trash can tonight, right now.
It's because they're parasitical. It's parasites. Parasitic. So that's the nature of parasitic.
It's a power struggle.
Right.
And y'all know me. Y'all know my mantra. Y'all know my mantra. Peace, power, and profit.
Mm-hmm.
I live it because I have to realize that if I'm going to say this here, I got to be endeavoring for it. Knowledge brings power. Power brings profit. Without power, what you got?
Nothing.
Blood vessels, some organs. McDonald's at 2 a.m. in the morning? Okay. People equate those things to what? Civil liberties of power. Are you serious?
Yep.
Claim hoods that you don't own the deeds to.
Once
you claim a block that you post up on all day that you don't own the title to. Yeah, see, we get caught up in we claim teams that we ain't making no share equity value off the team. That's my team. Let me see your CUSIP then. Let me see your CUSIP number. CUSIP number. What you talking about, bro? All right, never mind. Don't worry about it. Moving on. So when we say ownership, what are we really saying?
2%.
Right? Ownership supposed to mean responsibility, right?
Yeah.
Continuity, opportunity in terms of business. So if we ain't building businesses or doing those kind of things the way that we know we're supposed to, and everybody else coming in and usurping and taking over what we've established at some point, we went from progress to process.
Mm-hmm.
You went from eating wholesome to what? Processed foods. Right? We off our square, so to speak, in a lot of ways. So reality is that, again, going back to this somewhat election, right? It's the same, you see what I'm saying? Same hustle, different day. Get excited. You know, there's no need in trying to convince yourself that it's not, right? So if you say to yourself, okay, going 2021 by the Gregorian calendar, right, that we're in right now, and this, obviously the Gregorian calendar new year, right? Ain't no new year, no middle, no dang on winter. But we'll play the radio, right? Just because people like to play reindeer game. And nobody want to step up and be the all right. Anyway. If we're gonna play that game, then you say to yourself, okay, well, my resolution for the new year is going to be to build something. Not to work on what I've been lying to myself about for the past 30 years that I'm gonna work on. You've been working on it for how long? Man, stop. Give it up. Give it a rest. Let that dog die. That dog ain't no hunt right there. Let him die. Let him go off. Let him die. It's time to build something. You can't build nothing without what? Resources. If we say go straight to market, what are we saying? Cut out the middleman, go get your bag. Stop waiting on legislation. Stop waiting on a vote. Stop waiting on some hope. Right? And go out there and figure out how to get your own money. It's the reason why young people out here becoming millionaires and then in their day and time that it would have took, A few of us in somewhat in my age group getting lucky to be able to hit something like that at that point. Because of the what? The advent of more opportunities that are being presented in terms of people can find more ways to make money, right? But is you saying, if you still saying, well, I want my child to no, that's too risky for my child. I need my child to go to school so they can get them education, so they can get them a good job. Then you already retarding that child. Right? And so again, just bringing this kind of full circle, and you guys know where I'm coming from. I know I'm talking to my intellectual peers here, but regardless, it's somebody again that who don't follow us and they're listening, right? Or they've been watching, they're like, you know what, man, I saw these jokers for the entire COVID scenario sit around and get paid all day, every day. Let me say it in my and what the name was on the Django? What was the work in the big house? What the name was? The snitch, the black. What the name was?
Steven.
Steven said, we're gonna work you. We're gonna work you from sun up to sundown all day, every day. Every day. They didn't watch you get money every day of the pandemic. They didn't sit there and watch you from sun up to sundown get money every day. And they like, man, look, I'm tired of sitting there watching you get this money. Let me ask some questions. Right? Let me finally build up the courage to ask them what's going on. We ain't care about no elections. We ain't been caring about none of this stuff that everybody been sitting around and running around. Unfortunately, they had to deal with the pandemic like everybody else did, but we wasn't sitting here concerning ourselves with what? A lot of that kind of stuff. We're too busy saying what's going on with Spy, what's going on with the Tesla calls, what's going on with that NVIDIA put, right? What's going on with that Alibaba, you know? What's going on with Bitcoin? What's going on with that USD JPY pair? What's going on with the, you know, with this little penny pump play out here that's ran up about 12,000% in a day? What's popping with that today? So we start talking about what it seemed to be necessary for us to be in a position where we can establish power, and we went out there and start harnessing our own power. If I go down and do a roll call right now on this panel, I ask everybody, are you worried about really at the end of the day, if this election gonna make or break you tomorrow? I pretty much can guarantee what the answer gonna be. A lot of people can't have that conversation in their circles. They attach their livelihood to a what? A power structure that they acquiesce to and wait for instructions from every day.
Yeah.
Every day. They can't move unless somebody tell them to go. Y'all remember with Shawshank Redemption?
Yep.
He said, I wouldn't squeeze a drop until what? He wouldn't pee not one time until they told him he can go pee. Get out of there, boss. Get out of here. Go to the bathroom, boss. All right, go, baby. He wouldn't pee not one time. He would sit there and pee on himself before he have a natural experience and be the king and say, man, go to the bathroom, man. Come on, it's people out there that's training like that.
You must have omega-3 and turmeric every day of your life.
I got
you
that
have
CMOS
a photographic memory.
That CMOS, good for the neuro, good for the neurology. Look at health as well.
Man. It also repairs TNA.
All of it. You gonna walk it, walk it. Y'all know me. I've been talking health and wealth since y'all known you, brother. I ain't strayed away from off my square not one time, and I'm not.
It's just like encyclopedia Brown.
You know what I'm saying? Because y'all know, especially in the black community, we the biggest critics on everything popping within our community. You make one bad mistake, everything that you've done to your body work finna get flushed down the toilet on one mistake.
Oh yeah. Blacklisted, blackballed.
Discount, discredit everything that you've done good. In one moment, it goes down the toilet.
Yep. Canceled.
You know the field of play that you playing on, you move different.
Like
I said, we got a level of information that's empowering.
So many people that don't like me. Like, I'm too mean. I'm not nice. Be nice. Like, this is just not the time to be nice.
My life right here. You ain't finna get me. I'm finna use it. See, we had this thing in the military. Y'all know about even civilian word. We say use it or lose it.
My godmother was like, "You were taught better."
See?
Okay.
We were in a lot of ways, but we wasn't taught what we were supposed to really be taught though. We were just taught how to what? Stay safe.
Yes.
How to stay safe.
Yes.
Right? We didn't got to a point in our life now. Now we looking at everybody like, look here. I'm looking out the window like, what? Y'all over here? What?
Look at the picture.
I'm like, wait, what?
Stupid.
I'm just looking at everybody like, what you mean to tell me we sat here and showed you all this stuff for in the 10 months and you still ain't caught on to what we doing over here? You still trying to convince me why you should not be trying to learn what we doing over here? This woman gave you PowerPoint presentation on how to get to the bag. Joker then gave you outline blueprints on how to, start to get a brokerage account and grow your money. Joker over there and showed you how to find money, allocate money to resources so you can have the investment. Joker then gave you the game on how to take a forex pair and put it through metaphor and run it through some different harmonic scale or this, that. Joker then gave you all kind of game. And now after 10 months, and they still come to you like, man, about that stuff y'all was talking about. You sitting there looking at them just like this dude right here, like, what? I just sat here and gave you 9, 10, 12 months worth of game, and you didn't discount it because. So the game, again, I'm just saying, we're humble people. Y'all know one thing I love about our community? We some very selfless people. Because we move from what? A place of no competition. It ain't me against Christy. It ain't me against Mo. It ain't me against Marquise. It ain't me against Angie, Camille, Brandon, Legendary 8, Sister G there. But it's not me against any of you all. It's us against who? It's us against who? Market, the system. You know how good it feels to take a bag away from the market every day? And you ain't hurt nobody. You take away from the same snakes that been robbing you from what? Every day. American Airlines got their hands out right now for the government. I short the brakes off American Airlines. You ain't finna get me with all that country stuff, but it's the airlines, man. Short the brakes off of them. I'm in my conspiracy theories bag right now. I done shorted Facebook so much and tagged their name and Mark Zuckerberg's name when they kept suspending me for stupid stuff. I can't even post in groups right now. I can't even share my live in groups right now on Facebook. They got my page shadow banned and flagged. I can't post my natural literacy stuff on Facebook right now without them suspending me. I said, you know what? I'm gonna short Facebook stock, tag their name, hashtag Facebook, take this L. Forget you, Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah, I done made $300 off you today. I done made $1,000 off you today. I done made $2,000 off your stock today. Shorten it. I started tagging them. Go back and look at my old post back in 2018, 2017. You'll see right how I've been tagging the mess out of Mark Zuckerberg, shorting his stock. During that Cambridge Analytica scandal, I was shorting the brakes off Facebook. Because there's always a way to what? Skin a cat. I'm not concerned about these little dusty little platforms. What we have is something that is universal. This is a global market. We're not landlocked. We're not, confined to a certain what demographic or audience or value of business. We have an unlimited pool we can pull from. If I get tired of dealing with these old dusty American companies, I go jump in the Forex side of the house. Come through, Sister Camille, Open Marquis, give me the game real quick. Gotcha. Update you. Let's go get it. I get tired of that. You know what? Let me run over to the crypto side of the house. Let me bang out 24/7, round the clock, get some of this this money. How can they stop you when you have such a skill like this? We have unlimited pool of resources that we can tap into. And you teaching your kids on how to what? This is how you're gonna be a good line worker for the Ford auto plant. Your daddy did it, your granddaddy did it. You're gonna be a good line worker. That child sitting there like, they preparing me for slavery, huh? God dang. I ain't number 8 years old. They already telling me how I'm gonna work. Child looking at you like child looking at you like, what?
The baby like, you better have, the baby gotta have his rent.
Kids sitting at you, looking at you like, what this is here? When you ain't around, they feel like, man, look here, I need to speak to the manager. You ain't around, they sitting there having conversations about you like, man, this joker done told me I need to be on the assembly line of Ford tomorrow working just because my granddaddy done did it. I need to speak to the manager. I'm finna pull a coup on my own parents. I just said that woman is the first teacher. Get in the game. Kids are impressionable early. Get in the game early. Hey, I got you this financial literacy chessboard, this financial literacy Monopoly game. I got these financial literacy flashcards. You're going to learn about the terminology, PE ratios, right? Expenditures of CapEx spending, M&A, R&D. You're going to learn about valuations, right? IPO, ICOs, right? You're going to learn about all this. And I'm going to put you up some seed money. You're going to learn how to work for it. And I'm going to put you up some seed money to finance your what? Your operation. I'm going to show you how to run an online business at the age of 10 and 12. By the time you hit 16, you're going to be making more money than your teacher at school. People scared of that. They don't want to deal with that kind of power. They want your child to be, no, I want my child to be safe. I don't want my child to be, no, look at that's too much there. That's a little radical for me. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Jack got to go to school.
Oh my goodness. I went shopping in Rainbow today. Like all the kids' clothes, all the boys' t-shirts were all related to like hustling with all of the stereotypical, hip hop type of characters, like old graffiti tag type characters. I was like, are they serious? All of the t-shirts with all of these, I'm like, okay.
If you don't make money off them, they're going to make money off you. Deal with it.
Yeah.
See how they do you?
Yes.
They put it in your face like that.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't make money off us, we're going to...
That's all your kids are worth doing. This is the only way they could find value in themselves.
Is that not the game?
The game is having a kid hustling. They have him in the jail, have him in the lockup.
Oh yeah, that's the country club. That's the country club. They call home now.
That's the subliminal. You hustler.
You know what? And I know the little app move around in the little clubhouse app right now. That's the real clubhouse.
Oh, that clubhouse is a trip.
Send you right on to the real clubhouse, and you can hang out in there and talk about how well you was when you was out there. What? Or how they ensnared you purposely so they can take you off the what? Off the road call, so they can not have one less person, one less alpha to deal with.
Yeah.
It's serious out there. Look at, see, this is why, again, we can have these conversations to be straight down the middle. Because we realize that the fluff has already diluted us and watered us down in more ways than we can even imagine. We just convince ourselves of what we can tolerate it, right? But obviously, that you being railroaded, right? You being used and abused, and especially sisters, y'all know it's like women, y'all know you get one of them little toxic relationships, it rub you wrong way, like this joker here now. No, I think I'm crazy. But the reality is, of course, it go both ways. But y'all understand, it's all this hustle, right? Everybody trying to hustle each other in some form of a fashion because that's the culture that they kind of, again, acquiesce to. But they're doing it the wrong way. See what I'm saying? They're doing it the wrong way. They come hang out with us. We get to talking like this. They think they act like we some alien or something. Hey, no, bro. We just trying to give you your power back. Here, take your crown, bro. Put it on. And when you walk outside the door, don't take it off because you scared to be what? Notice. Put your crown on. Going out there. The empowering aspect of that changes your mentality, how you go about in your daily existence. Do you not? Y'all know we move with a whole new different energy. Once you figure out how to get your own money, you move entirely different. See, it's one thing to be subjected to somebody, a job. Again, people can't post on their Facebook because they worry about the employee coming through there doing a sweep on your Facebook page. See you post some ratchet. Hey, we gotta let you go, Tyrone. What?
Worried about that stupidness, man.
You gotta let me go. Bro, I'll be here every day on time. What you mean you gonna let me go? Well, we, happen to see your Facebook page and you saying a lot of,
They're about to hit us with that social credit like China. So,
hey, I posted in the room about them, starting to use rap artist lyrics in court.
oh wow, what?
Y'all know. See, again, I know we initially obviously began the ideal of understanding or trying to get some kind of understanding of how these people are using this election, right? This is a power grab that's going to later turn into a money dispensing grab, right? Most people who are, again, for the pageantry of this election, they're only here for the what? I'm saying, when I say those people, the people who really understand what's about to happen, the smart people in the back of the room, not the ones up front saying, hey, pick me, right? The ones in the back of the room are sitting there counting like how many people's hands go up. We're going to make money off that person. We're going to make money off this person. We're going to finagle that person out of that $2,000 they get it from Democrat. We're going to make money off this one here if he's Republican and he's stunched on this and going fooling with this. We're going to make money off this MAGA person over here if he acting crazy because we know he going to be thinking on emotion and listen to following Trump. We're going to this how they sitting there picking everybody out.
Don't forget to check the organ donor box.
On the way out the door. I was sitting there saying, okay, you know what? I need to make sure these puts and these calls going to be popping tomorrow. No matter what, I need these puts and calls to be popping tomorrow because regardless of how people out there waiting on a stimulus check, again, it's coming tomorrow. First thing, 4 a.m. In about 3 hours, matter of fact, 2 hours and 55 minutes. We're going to get the first taste of what it's going to feel like. And I got from 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. to lay seeds in the equity market. Or in the Forex market. Forex market popping right now, obviously. Right? As we can, well, I don't have it up here now, but as you can see over here, Forex already getting it in. USD JPY, you see what it is. Euro USD JPB, right? USD CAD, y'all see what it is. Again, these just some of them, many of them out there. Right? Same thing with gold and oil. Oil doing its best to try to stay around $50 a barrel. Struggling, but it's trying. Tehran got issues right now with OPEC. Everybody, that's the whole spot about to be blown up in a minute. Again, due to the coronavirus scenario and the lockdown and election values and all this stuff, and to get blew up all over again after they worked so hard to come out of the negative back into up in there $50 a barrel. All that stuff and probably be in trouble again. Gold back popping again, getting ready to test all-time highs. Bitcoin, look at him. Stop. Bitcoin ain't playing the radio. How many times people told y'all Bitcoin was going to zero? Forever, forever, ever, forever, ever?
Forever, ever, ever.
Sorry, Miss Jackson. What? Going to zero? This thing at 35 grand right now. Ethereum at 1,000. We're trading Ethereum at what? $200. Bitcoin was at 3,000. Joker told us, you gambling, bro. The market, but what's the Bitcoin stuff, man? We don't know about all that Bitcoin stuff. Now they like, man, what you mean? Hey, teach me about that Bitcoin stuff. How to do it again? How y'all do that again? And what do? We got you, bro. Come on in here. We got you. No problem. Let's go. See, we're not concerned with all the petty stuff. We're not worried about what people say, because we know they moving and acting under what? A form of what? Brainwashing and indoctrination. They don't know no better. And see, that's what I love about what we do, because no matter what, if you're going to put power in the hands of somebody that can really utilize it, if they're serious and they're hungry, if you come to them straight up the middle and say, hey, this is the game, this is the blueprint, right? How much money did Kelly Loeffler make out of the stock market? The same woman that's being somewhat lightly investigated for insider trading, sitting up here running for a Senate seat. Now, what can she possibly need being a government official after worth over billions of dollars? Billions of dollars. She basically owned the WNBA basketball team in Atlanta, right?
Yep.
What she need from a political seat?
More money.
These politicians ain't making no money like that. Of course, they do when they get in there and hustle and make money off their political seat. But ultimately, it's there for what? Connects and resources, right? It's just another angle to get more in the end, of course. But initially, people of that echelon that come in already with a bag, they just there for the leverage. But I'm saying all that to say is that
leverage that bag.
Right, but I'm saying that for a reason. I'm saying all that to say they're there just for political reasons, right? To move the needle for them to continue to haul more away from the people that have no clue about what's happening. The same way they say that there's racism, white supremacy that's inside the police force, right? And they can't seem to weed it out and find out who these people are before they go out there and shoot some black person in the back, right? Or in the face for no reason, right? These people been infiltrated, right? All branches of government been what? Infiltrated already, right? If that's the case, then what you really getting out of that scenario? If everybody compromised, you're gonna have a few good ones still left out there, but they're gonna be what? Far and few between. So why waste your time? And again, I'm not saying that to discourage anybody that want to get into political theater and get into the jurisprudence side of things, right? Jewish doctrines and all that. Fine. Do what you need to do. Let it be meaningful. Let it be impactful. Ultimately, again, you still got to be in a position of what? To call shots on your own terms. Of course, that's what the side of the investment world gives you. We can wait around to the morning, see what the election is going to look like. They stop the count, at this point, right? And I'm saying that meaning, it's pretty much, until they update it again, right? This 97% that we're seeing right now on the screen, of course, hold up. That's just going to hold until the AM, right? That's why the futures market kind of pulled back a little bit and say, okay, well, we know they can't do any more damage than what we can wait for until the rest of those ballots come in. But like I said before, by the time that greater Atlanta area come in, the rest of those ballots start coming in the greater Atlanta region, y'all already know what it's going to look like. Warnock can already, again, kind of overtook Loeffler already. That's that greater Atlanta area. That's that Savannah region. It probably ain't going to be too much long for John Ossoff before he overtake David Perdue. Republicans already shot their shot. Most of those votes are already in those stronghold Republican regions all around lower mid Georgia. Very northern aspect of Georgia, of course. We talk about the mountain region. Y'all know what's up in those areas. Anybody, they ain't playing the radio over there. Everything of never Republican and Confederate, right? They keep 100. Right? So reality is that again, people who are waiting on that, for the most part, people just say, hey, y'all gonna cut some checks, right?
No.
They're there for a short. They there for that short time bag. We're gonna say, you know what? Okay.
They're gonna cut some checks, but not for the people that actually need it.
Again, but you know the deal. Ultimately, again, hey, let them. They can rock out. As we say, what? Rock out. You got it. Your word, bro. You got it. Do your thing. Right. All we're doing is saying, okay, well, again, what are we dealing with as far as, market values, right? How is the market going to respond to this, right? How are we going to deal with this from a market, market perspective? That's all we care about, literally, right?
Exactly.
Look at it. See, Senor Trump. See, look. See, that's the catalyst for tomorrow, is it not? Or today at this point, that's the catalyst for today is what? The objection for the what? Electoral college vote, right? This is a planned event.
Yes.
They took out permits right here in D.C. for this event. This is a staged legal coup that they finna try to what? Pull off. Couldn't make this stuff up.
I'm running against your governor.
Too much.
What you think the market's gonna do?
What it did when he was
Sideways all day, or it's gonna be volatile?
It's gonna be volatile.
More likely, it's gonna be volatile. And if it's volatile, that means somebody gonna make some what?
Some money.
money.
We make money off expansion.
I'm gonna be making some money. Exactly. Expansion to the upside, hopefully.
One way or the other. Up or down, we gonna get paid.
I need the USD to go up.
Get paid. You see what I'm saying? So while they going through all that, we're gonna be locked in front of this. See what I'm saying? Looking at them numbers, them real numbers. Where them numbers at? Run them numbers. Run them. Get on your cash app. Get on your cash app. Get on that PayPal. Get on that PayPal. Get on your cash app. Right?
Cash app me some cash app.
See what I'm saying? Y'all already know what it is. We already laid the blueprint in 2020. What we're about. And people that know y'all closely, that saw you grow into what you are today, and even get more, knowledgeable where you're at, they're looking at it like, man, look at that. Whatever happened, that's fine. But that person over there, they ain't worried about all that. They came out the S&P puts tomorrow, or the S&P calls tomorrow, or that USD JPY pair, or them, them. They already know your modus operandi. Meaning, hey, I ain't got time for all that, man. I get it, but hey, I get it, but I don't. Hey, but knock yourself out. We already then, show people that what we're about. We ain't turning back. Look. See, we just hit the gas pedal a little harder. Every year we hit that gas pedal a little bit harder. And starting to separate from all the what? Foolishness. Right? The indecisiveness. Right? The people who like to waste time. Right? The people who want to be entertained. Right? Look here. Let me roll some of that bean footage, brother, after pouring. They ain't hear you. We bounced up out of 2020 just like that. We done bounced on Joker just like that. And Joker look at you like, man, that's that Joker over there. Boy, I saw that Joker over there. I saw her over there. She was over there. Always ain't got time to be liking my Facebook post when I was posting all this funny stuff. They Joker over there posting them charts all the time. Joker always posting their little games all the time. Talk about getting money all the time. Nobody got time for all that all the time. And we supposed to be playing and having fun. Nobody want to see all that financial literacy stuff all the time. Nobody want to hear all that. Talking about some stock market stuff, man. Nobody got time for all that, man. Look, I ain't man. I'm gonna see all that mess. Yeah. Gave the game, broke down the blueprint, and they still don't want to like your post. You know why? Because to them it's intimidating. Why? Because you're afraid if I teach you, you're gonna have to be responsible. Now you got to go out there and act on it. Oh, I forgot. My bad. You doing the Black Power and broke thing. I got you. My bad. Black Power, broke.
Nah, so I know some of my people, they're just really entitled. They feel, they did the degrees, they got their degrees, they got their, like you said, they're essential workers. Like people are not, they don't see it. They don't see it. Head is in the sand. Total faith in their employers.
I'm about to jump off.
Got you, Ilba. Camille, thank you for coming through. As always, Ilba, you already know. Peace, power, and profit. I know you can get to a bag. I already know your info.
Yeah, I'm about to put my stuff up.
You got about what, 42 minutes, real quick. But no, but yeah, 42 minutes.
I'm trying to go to sleep before, cause man, I be wrecked the whole day. Like, oh my goodness.
No, get it in. Sleep is a weapon. Trust me.
I'm gonna set my take profit, and hopefully, if my analysis is right, I'll wake up to a bag.
See how that work?
Then I can trade New York.
See how that work?
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing.
So that's what they're afraid of. That's what they're intimidated by. So sleep is a weapon. You deserved it. You earned it. Who's gonna tell you that you didn't? See, that's power.
Yeah.
So peace, power, profit. You, Ilba, Camille. You already know it. We appreciate you. We honor you. Right? Again, the woman is the first teacher.
Peace, power, profit.
Yes, absolutely. Peace, everyone.
Peace. Yeah.
Peace, brother African Emporium. Peace, brother Marquis. Peace, Sister Mo. Peace, Sister Angie. Sup, New York? I'm gonna be calling you New York.
Thank you.
Yes, peace, brother Brandon. I see y'all in the chat in the morning.
Peace, power, profit to you. Enjoy your evening. You deserve it.
You too. Hey, thanks for that analysis.
Yes.
Always. You already know how we're gonna do it. We coming straight down the middle. No chasing.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sis.
Right. I will see y'all in the morning. Peace.
Will do. Same place, same time. See you in the group.
Peace, power, profit.
Peace, power, and profit to you.
Peace, power, and profit.
So again, y'all know what it is. So again, it's late. Again, we don't keep you here. Again, great opportunity again to have, that kind of, as I like to say, the roundtable discussions. They're necessary. So that way we don't lose focus and insight what we're trying to accomplish. You guys got goals. You already got your individual goals. You already know what you're striving for. Right? You know why, these things are just what they have always been. Congeniality contests, pageantry moments. Y'all know what it is. It's window dressing in a lot of ways. It carries some values and implications. We understand it, but ultimately, at the end of the day, they have no power what happens to you when you shut your front door. If you really the true king of your castle. Mm-hmm. Again, that's because you've got your power structure down pat. You are the generator, right? You are the generator. Mr. Charlie, not a piece of legislation. You are. We use markets for the reason. We use these things for a reason, right? So, if anything we can take from the fact that we know that, again, those things, that stuff is getting a lot of attention. That's fine. But, come 4 a.m., 9:30 a.m., however you acquiesce the market, doesn't matter when you, that's when it's game time. Right? That's when it's game time, right? So we got some. So again, build it, right? Don't let anyone obviously move you off the square. If you're new and you're learning it, stay at it. Stay at it. Again, it only gets better with time. It's like a stinky piece of cheese, right? It takes some time for that cheese to get stinky. If you eat cheese, right? Fine wine. It takes time for that, that bottle to age, right? To have that potency. The market value is the same reality. It gets better with time as long as you stay humble and hungry. It gets better. You're going to get better as the time progresses. You're going to get wiser basically at the end of the day. That's what it does. It teaches you how to be wiser, how to make the type of moves where you don't let them try to do to you what politicians already done to you. They all work in cahoots for a reason. Right? But it's best that, in my opinion, of course, then just dependent upon, again, the Mr. Charlotte theory scenario, giving him that much power over you every single day. It just doesn't make sense. It's not worth the trade-off. They can't pay you your worth. They cannot pay you your worth. Simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, guys, you guys get it. Like I said, again, it's time to, let you, go take some of that, that last little bit of energy we got left, right? Get ready for this market, it's going to be a doozy. We already got the prerequisite of what that may look like by the future market. Of course, future market is just a small fraction of what happens during the retail hours of the day, when people really get, excited or, anguished and capitulate and this, that, and the third, and things can get out of control really fast, right? It can unravel the same way it can tighten down really fast, and control in it. So it's, again, either way, we're looking for that volatility, one way or the other. One way or the other, we're looking for that volatility to kick off. So, again, I'm excited to go to battle with the family every single day, sharing information, what we do best, living that, standing and sticking to our little lanes. We fine in that. That's fine with us. And we welcome anybody that's new to it as well. Again, we don't own the stock market, so we can't sell you nothing, right? Yeah. We're just utilizing what the information that's presented out there for us to be able to capitalize off of. Simple as that. The same way people, that are billionaires do. And we let chips fall as they may in that perspective. Right. Yeah. So I'm excited again, like I said, to go to battle with you guys every single day. Every single day. Right. So peace, power, profit to everybody. Hope this was, invigorating. I know it's late. We done bent a few hours, going in like we always do. Right. But it's all fun, it's all fun. It's all fun. And again, I ain't throwing no shots at Trump, but I'm gonna pop a shot or two there. So, I got, yeah. We're gonna go golfing, we're gonna go golfing, right? We're gonna get it in, we're gonna get it
in. He's golfing his governor.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have you all, tagged to
we're going to Mr. Governor.
You're gonna bend some corners in the golf caddy with the U-Haul behind it. Nonetheless, they're gonna shake up Washington today. Of course, it's at 12 o'clock at this point, so it's the 6th, right? So today's gonna be a day worth of fireworks than we can even imagine. We got the election, you got the Trump coup rally tonight with the Electoral College. Market should be very ripe to be what? Robbed today, right? So that's what we do. We go rob from these markets every day what they stolen from our people for what? Like forever, right? Mm. So have on your best, hiking boots and your best Kevlar, your flat jacket. Make sure your gun got plenty of ammunition tomorrow, because it's a get down, lay down kind of day today, right? That's all I'm gonna say. It's a get down, lay down kind of day today. So it's gonna be some people who make a ton of money today. Mm. I know it to be true. I have seen this scenario before. I know it to be true. And I do endeavor that it's one of you all, if not all of us. Right? Mm-hmm. Because one thing we do have at our advantage is, again, we have a specific set of skills. We have a specific set of skills that Joker had no clue. They just walk you past, they just see you pass by like, how that Joker done did that? What he posting this here? What he doing? What's this mess here? They dropping them right here. What they talking about some this and that? Don't worry about it. Let me teach you something. Let me show you something then. You really want to know. So shout out to you all. Shout out to my doers out there. Shout out to my producers, distributors, and sellers that's out there. All right. To my entrepreneurs out there. To my investors out there. Right. To my traders out there. Shout out to you all. Right. This definitely is one for you all, and you guys definitely know that you got something. So, the rest is history. So, again, thank you guys for tuning in. Not gonna keep you guys up any later than you need to be. I had a long day too. I had training out, getting it in. So I'm on E, but I'm just excited for what's gonna come 4 a.m. See, that's one thing I love about this, because every day is like Christmas to us. Is it not? Every day like Christmas to us. That market open up, you like, man, I'm finna get paid today. If you don't tell yourself nothing else, you're gonna tell yourself I'm finna get paid. Right? Whether they go down the way you want to or not, at least you have the opportunity, right? They can't stop you from that. They cannot stop you from that. right? So that to me, that's hey, I'm ready, right? So on the way out the door, we'll do a little comedic role on the way out the door, right? Again, I'm gonna hate to see my little brother Trump leave up out here because he was fun and entertaining for 4 years in the stock market. He kept this thing pumping. He kept it funny and live. So we're gonna comedic roll on the way out the door. Thank you, brother Trump. I know that you're gonna try to pull this little mess tomorrow, and the people gonna put you in some handcuffs probably. You go out there, man. They're gonna put you in some chains, Trump. Keep on playing around you want to. Don't you do it, Trump. Right. So, I'm gonna hate to see my little buddy leave, but it is what it is. So roll some of that beef footage on the way out the door, guys. Peace, power, profit to everybody.
Peace, power.
Girl, I feel you trying to drown me. Lord knows that I can't swim. I said the oceans would run dry because you're so stingy. I said the oceans would run dry.
Get your 4 free stuff with Webull. The link down in the description box. Y'all know how it go. If you ain't got that account yet and you sitting around here waiting in 2021, after you saw us get after this market, shame on you. Sign up on the Webull. Y'all know the link down below. Let's get it, guys.
You had a closed circuit hidden camera on me, it would appear as if I was a sick individual. I'm gifted in the fact that I can actually interact. You feel me? But in that state, it's definitely, you're a conduit. You're a transmission system. It's not me. You know what I mean? I've equipped my mind with the algorithm. So by learning words, the more availability you have to your expression, the more which is going to be relayed in your sense. Just like if you got the best internet connection in the world. You feel me? The only way you can get that is by allowing yourself to be that, man. You got to be open.
Go so deep, go so deep, go so deep. Go so deep, go so deep, go so deep. Don't know me, no more ego, so free. Don't know evil, no me. Go so deep, go so deep, go so deep. Go so deep, go so deep, go so deep. No rollie, don't go sleep, don't know sheep. Don't know evil, no me. I'm tapping in, something is happening. I felt a spirit coming back again. My little magic friend. I'm the bag of skin it casted in. The voice you're hearing on the track is him.
Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys wholeheartedly. 2021 is just another calendar year for us to do what we've already been doing. Don't let no one, slow your roll and keep you from being able to acquiesce what's owed to you. Let's go out there and make it happen. Connect with us if you're new. Y'all see what we do every single day. Our Facebook pages, our threads, our Twitter, Instagrams is loaded with a lot of the stuff that we do, so it's no secret. Let us show you what we've been able to learn, right? And so we can all put people in a position of power so they can obviously now be able to do what they know that they are obviously endeavoring in their minds that they can do, right? So with that being said, again, Shem Hotep, I'm Bantu, I am because we are, and I see you guys again later this afternoon. At this point, it is the next day. All right. So next time I go live, hope to see you guys in the building again. Right. So peace, power, profit, guys. See y'all in the next one. Peace. Peace.